I feel like it's going to be a lot of energy just being in New York Yankee Stadium.
Touchdown!
This will be my first time going to New York.
He is Mr. November!
Derek Jeter, he's like one of the greats.
I grew up thinking I would play Major League Baseball, so to be playing football in one of the premier Major League Baseball stadiums is pretty sweet.
At a blink of an eye, play that game, and then afterwards be like, oh my God, I played at Yankee Stadium.
The goal at Notre Dame is to win a national championship. Wherever they put the ball down, we'll be ready to play.
And it's been all across the country. The Irish have played in Evanston, just outside of Chicago. They go to California next week again, and it's New York today. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx. When the new stadium opened in '09, the first football game was the following year. It was Notre Dame in 2010 when they played Army. Only fitting, there's so much Notre Dame football history at Yankee Stadium, going back to the famous meetings with Army, highlighted by a game of the century back in the 40s. Both these teams, Syracuse and Notre Dame, have played in the annual bowl game here, the Pinstripe Bowl, so they are familiar with the setting. The last two times they've met, it's been in the metro area on the other side of the Hudson in New Jersey. They've played at MetLife Stadium. Those were Syracuse home games. This is an Irish home game. It's a predominant Notre Dame crowd, and here come the Pinstriped Irish. What a cool shot. So odd for Brian Kelly. He's a lifelong Red Sox fan, but he's very happy to be part of the home team here at Yankee Stadium today, and he's thrilled to have Ian Book back at quarterback, undefeated in his first 7 starts, even though only 2 of them have come in South Bend. Most of his work away from the house that Rockne built. The old house that Ruth built, the old Yankee Stadium, comes a team who played the very first college football game at the old Yankee Stadium back in the early 20s. They come here, their best season now in 2 decades. It's a 250-mile drive from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Some of their fans have made it, but they are the road team today as the Syracuse Orange gets set to come out of the third base visitors dugout here at Yankee Stadium. And the Orange take the field. Incredible, improbable turnaround season. 4 wins each of the first 2 years for Dino Babers. 8-2, 12th in the nation. His super fast offense run by senior Eric Dungy, who holds or shares 16 Syracuse records. All right, down to the sideline, and a good afternoon again to Catherine Tappan.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Coach, you bring your undefeated Irish to this iconic stadium to face a tough opponent in number 12, Syracuse. How did you prepare your team for both the atmosphere and the expectations here today?
Well, I mean, we're playing a good football team, so they've got a plan. You know, they're going to have to execute it against a really good team, but, you know, we do some things offensively that we're going to have to execute as well. We're going to get a lot of possessions today. We're going to have to play really well defensively. And in the special teams, it's going to be really big today. So all 3 phases will come in. They're a good football team. You know, we know that. But I think, you know, execution late in November, big players got to step up. So look for the big players to step up today.
What is one of the biggest challenges you face with that tough offense on the other side of the field?
Well, they've got great balance, and they got a veteran quarterback. So anytime you got a veteran quarterback, you got a chance.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, Tap, thank you. With the Heisman Trophy winner Doug Flutie at this great setting here. Look at our spot down the right field line at Yankee Stadium. Doug, welcome to Yankee Stadium. What do you sense about this place as you were on the field before?
It's pretty cool walking in. I mean, my head's on a swivel. I looked at every picture, read every plaque. We went to Monument
Park over there.
Monument Park. I'm getting a picture with Babe Ruth over there. I threw a baseball in Yankee Stadium. Pretty cool.
It's a special setting for the players. The football game is important, and Ian Book being back for Notre Dame, very significant. What does it do to the Irish offense?
It just makes him more efficient. You know, he's so accurate with the football, balls out on time, makes good decisions. He's more athletic than people realize. He is a little banged up. The whole playbook is going to be open for him, but it'll be interesting to see if he's running the football a lot today.
Tell everybody about the Syracuse offense. 44 points a game. Dungy runs it. What do you see when you see it?
He's accurate with the football, but he's a competitor. He runs hard. He's physical. The word that gets tossed around is fearless all the time, and his teammates love him for him. He's got a lot of weapons. over 10,000 career yards from scrimmage, and he's a winner.
Eric Dungy and the Syracuse team played at Clemson earlier in the season. They lost by 4, but they opened eyes in that game that they could hang with some of the best teams in the country. After that, they lost to Pittsburgh, have not lost since. They've won 4 in a row. The Irish haven't lost all year, including the toss. They won the toss and will receive. Sterling Hofricker is part of an outstanding special teams unit for Syracuse that Brian Kelly alluded to earlier. And he will send it on this 47-degree afternoon with the wind moving left to right as you watch. Michael Young back deep to receive for the Irish without the golden helmets, which looks so odd. But it's a special uniform for a special day. Best game of the day, Yankee Stadium. Doesn't get any better than this, and off we go from the South Bronx. It'll be Chris Fink a yard deep, and he was back with Young. He'll take it, and the Irish will take it out of the 25-yard line. They have run it effectively with Dexter Williams. His speed has been a difference maker in the backfield off a career-high 202 yards against Florida State. When Notre Dame's best offensive lineman, Alex Bars, was injured, there was concern. Aaron Banks, a sophomore, has moved in at guard. He's been fantastic next to Sam Mustapha. They support Ian Book, the quarterback who returns to the Irish lineup as they start at their own 25 to get things going. And on first down, Book out of his hands right away to Miles Boykin with the catch and a gain of about 10. Book returns. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down on that throw, but so many of his accurate passes move the chains for the Irish. Doug leading the country in completion percentage.
It's like a layup for him. If you have off coverage and the timing of the throw is on time, he's flawless.
People move the ball in this Syracuse defense. They force a lot of turnovers. Book gets the first down to Alizé Mack, tackled by Ryan Guthrie, the active middle linebacker for the Orange. Mack coming off a 2-touchdown game. Guthrie has been an on-field, every play quarterback of the Syracuse defense this year. First and 10 from the 36. It is Book with time. He'll escape and run and duck out of bounds quickly. I'm sure Dougie's going to avoid taking any hits in the running game if possible today.
Yeah, any unnecessary hits he will avoid, get down, get out of bounds. But he is an athlete. He'll extend plays with his feet. But it's all those little timing throws, and the short passing game is so efficient. As a play caller, you're not afraid to throw the ball on early downs because he's going to keep you in good down and distance.
No designed runs called yet after that scramble. Here's the first one with Williams to the left. Good pull by the offensive line, and Dexter Williams gets a first down out. It's called to the 47-yard line before Alton Robinson made the Syracuse tackle.
Left side of the line, even pulling your center, Sam Mustapha, coming out and around. The left side of the line has been surprisingly strong this year, even though they're inexperienced. Alex Bars at left guard, their most experienced lineman out. They've done a fantastic job.
Placing 2 top 9 NFL picks on the left side of that line. For the 47, a little trouble at the mesh point there, and Williams will be stopped for a loss of maybe 3 yards. McKinley Williams in there, the nose tackle for the Orange, on the tackle.
McKinley Williams right in here, fights off a double team and gets backdoor on it to make the tackle on the backfield. Heck of a play.
The Syracuse defense that gives up a lot of yards. They are 97th out of the 129 teams in the country. Second and 13. Book's first look wasn't there. He is pressured and completes it. Good job to find the open receiver in Alizé Mack. Andre Sisco made the tackle for the Orange. We'll have third and about 7 coming up.
It's one of the first times I've actually seen Book get a little bit fooled. They lined up in press coverage. He didn't think the hitch was going to be there, but the corner bailed, and he held on the ball a little bit, moved around, still finds a completion.
You mentioned Notre Dame home game. Syracuse an allotment of 5,000 tickets, most of them down this end behind the Notre Dame offense. You'll be hearing them during the afternoon, plus the others that bought tickets on their own. Third and 7, and Book fires, broken up. Coverage by Christopher Frederick, knocks it away. So after a couple of first downs, the Irish will be forced to punt.
Great job by Frederick. Press one-on-one coverage all over the field, stays right on him, gets a right arm in there to knock it down. That's getting your hands on the receiver and not being afraid of the guy running by you. Trust your own speed, play him tough, knows where the sticks are. Great defensive play.
Tyler Newsome back to kick it away for the Irish. Newsome, 13th in the country in punting average. Syracuse, a good special teams group, and Akeem Johnson back for the fair catch. They'll make it at the 16-yard line. The senior Eric Dunie and the Orange. Fast-paced offense on the field at Yankee Stadium. When do you come back? Football is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. Be a sub above. By Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing. Can't help but avoid the baseball theme here at Yankee Stadium and look at some of the Notre Dame and Syracuse players when they were kids, when they were baseball players, including Ian Book, who had a brief but very good baseball career. He then transitioned to lacrosse after he had enough with baseball, and then football, of course, continued on, and with good reason. 6-0 as the Irish starter. It's a neat experience for the players. As we mentioned, here was their first look at Yankee Stadium about 3 hours or so ago. Neither team walked through here at Yankee Stadium yesterday, so great chance for the specialists for the Irish and all the players to get a peek, get a look, bust a little move. And the Q's kids, even though they are 4 hours away, for a lot of them, the first chance to be in one of the most famous stadiums in the world. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx just sounds like a special place, and it is. Football's so much a part of the history of this stadium as well. Dunie, the Orange offense are off, and Dungy's on the run to the 22-yard line to pick up a 5 on first down. For Eric Dunie, the senior from Lake Oswego, Oregon, is just south of Portland. He's 2,500 miles from home and playing good. That pass deflected by Khalid Kareem and is incomplete. Good job by the Irish junior defensive end to take away, Doug, one of those passes important to this offense. Great job at just getting upfield and getting the ball in the passing lane. That was darn close to being a lateral. Cody Conway, the tackle, did not hit him and gave Kareem a free chance to get in there and use his athleticism. I'm surprised that more people don't try to cut those throws off, whether it's in a strong safety position or an outside linebacker position, to try to get in that passing lane and have an opportunity to tip the ball like that. And that might have been a backwards pass. They choose not to look at it. 3rd and 6. Notre Dame brings pressure, and Dungy's pass is incomplete. Had to get rid of it quick, looking for Sean Riley, his leading receiver, over the middle. And the Orange go 3 and out to open the game, and Notre Dame continues its good starts on defense to begin games this year. Little zone blitz, bringing it from one side, dropping the nose guard out. Jerry Tillery got in the passing lane. Little confused, unsure of what he's seeing on that blitz. You're bringing it from one side and dropping people out. Chris Fink back. Sterling Hofricker has been a very good kicker this year for the Orange, kicking with the wind and a good boot here. Fink tells everybody to get away. It just stops there in the wind at the 45-yard line, and the Irish will take over there. Just 34 yards on the kick, so not as good as the first look for Hofrichter. Short field for the Irish offense. Here's the Orange defense trying to stop them. Strength is up front. Coleman and Robinson, the top sack duo in the ACC. Kyler Whitner, very similar to Drew Tranquil of the Irish, lauded for his off-field work. A former DB, has become a very good linebacker. We already heard from Andre Cisco, the true freshman, standout this season. 5 interceptions. Mentioned Syracuse, those 25 turnovers. Book on the give up the middle to Dexter Williams, and he goes nowhere. Doug, this Syracuse defensive front will be huge in this game, trying to stop the Irish running attack. That's the strength of this defense. Their defensive ends in pass rush, their inside guys as run stoppers, taking up double teams. They need to stop the run game first. That's an emphasis. Notre Dame ran it last week against Florida State for 365 yards. And a false start here.
Full start. Number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Stuart Mullins and the ACC crew heard from for the first time. Robert Hainsey, the right tackle, the guilty party.
Well, that gets you out of down and distance. You're stuffed on the first down run, then a 5-yard penalty, so 2nd and 15 rather than being in those manageable situations.
From the 40, looked up quick, fires to Boykin. Held on, gained a second, dropped it. He had it at first, but then could not secure it as he brought it up to his body. So incomplete.
Moving on the field, it's an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Watch him trying to pull it in.
That's Frederick getting his hand in there, and there's an open alley, and he catches it out in his hands, but Frederick reaches in with the hand and yanks it out. Great job, not giving up. You assume he's going to the ground, but you keep fighting. Hold it out.
Rare, we've seen 3rd and long this season for the Irish on back-to-back drives. The underneath route for Jones. He's going to get there on the 1st down. Terrific play call by Chip Long. He needed 16 and gets 19 with the back, Tony Jones Jr.
Here comes Robinson off the edge with pressure, just short of getting there, and it is a great play design. It's like a screen, downfield screen, receivers crisscross blocking, beautifully executed against a soft zone.
Mack timing the block apparently just right. Book for the 42, looking deep, takes a shot in the middle. Chase Claypool to the 15-yard line. 1st down for the Irish in front of Andre Sisco. And this is when Notre Dame loves to go quick.
Again, it's a zone coverage. You're clearing off the top of the coverage, and then Claypool comes all the way across. You see Fink clearing out the safety. It's the play action and the time to throw that route.
From the 15, Dexter Williams doesn't keep it. Book does. He's still alive to throw. He's got Boykin to the 8-yard line. Very last-second decision by Book. Turns into a gain. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 10. Maybe about 5 on the pickup.
Well, he makes the right decision. He pulls it, but Robinson's so quick. He reacts, and now Book has to get rid of it to the outside, just like playing basketball on grass.
Second and 4. Book over the middle. Complete. Williams to the end zone. He is in for the Notre Dame touchdown. Running backs in the passing game. The key for the Irish on this scoring drive.
He just sticks his man and runs a little angle route underneath, and then fights his tail off to get into the end zone. Nice timing on the throw. Good route. It was there. You see the ball getting across the goal line. The stick move on the angle route.
All-time Irish leading point scorer Justin Yoon adds the extra point. It was the 3rd and 15 pickup by Tony Jones Jr. that set the table for Dexter Williams. And the touchdown. Irish driving 6 plays, 55 yards, and score first at Yankee Stadium. The 2018 Shamrock Series aerial coverage brought to you by Tourism Ireland. So many years Notre Dame was the national program, and in New York, growing up in New York, you'd see Notre Dame replay on Sundays. So many Irish fans. There were a ton of them down in the plaza this morning for the Today Show, walking through St. Patrick's Cathedral. Notre Dame very much at home here in New York City. A short kickoff. Sean Riley, a great returner, will get it at the 11. And Riley works his way out to the 33-yard line. That's where this second Syracuse drive will start. Told you they'd go fast, and that guy Riley, despite his listed size, 5'8", 170, he's neither, leads the team with 54 catches. Up front, interesting story, Coda Martin, Texas A&M transfer. He's married to the head coach, Gino Baber's daughter. So the head coach is also his father-in-law. He lives in their basement, and he protects the quarterback. He's got a lot of responsibility when it comes to the Babers household, but we told you about Dungy, a 4-year starter. This is 36th start. He's healthy this year, and he's closing in, see all those career numbers, on 11,000 total yards of offense. Drive 2, play 1, slot shot, intercepted! Didn't see Elliott. Jalen Elliott with a big pick at the 30. Elliott picking up blockers at the 15-yard line. Interception number 4 on the year for the junior safety for the Irish. He's up in the corner of your screen up this way. Jalen Elliott is going to be covering the seam route, but he sits
and breaks on it hard coming downhill. Dungy looked the safety off, thought that Elliott was dropping deep. Instead, he squatted on the throw, broke hard on it, steps under with a big, and he had a great week last week, solidifying the nickel position.
You can see it with his helmet. Watch where his eyes went. He baited Dungy and steps in there. And a golden opportunity for the Irish at the 15. And a flag.
Prior to the snap, full start. Number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That is the second in 14 snaps for Robert Hainsey, and he's worried about the guy he's guarding. And Chip Long, the offensive coordinator, is very unhappy with that.
You got a speed rusher off that edge. You want that quick step. You want to get in position to make your block. You don't want to get beat by the speed.
Stops the momentum for just a moment. First and 15, and the give inside. Williams will get 3.5 yards, just shy of the 16-yard line for Dexter. I think you know the Dexter Williams story if you've been watching the Irish all year. Suspended the first 4 games, jumps back in the lineup with a bang, 161 yards against Stanford. He's been over 104 times, including 202 last Saturday night against Florida State. Gives him a home run hitter in the backfield. Pressure off the corner. Book fires complete to Boykin. Stays in bounds. They'll mark him at the 9. We'll have third and about 4 coming up. Evan Foster, the big hitter, out of the Orange secondary with the tackle.
Great reaction to a corner blitz, and this is difficult to see on your blind side. Coming off that edge, you read the safety going across. He's off coverage, so you take the quick throw in front of him. That's a tough read. That's a tough thing to see, and a nice pickup on the outside.
Shaim Cullen got a free shot at Book coming back off the rib injury. Officially 3rd and 3, and they'll throw. Book to Williams, incomplete. That would have been a big connection there, trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. Let's see if the Irish go for a field goal here to make it 10. Yes, they will. Field goal attempts coming.
He gets out on the edge. Williams does have a step, but Book doesn't have the time to really make an accurate throw there. Even if he's off balance, Ian Book usually makes a real accurate throw there, just a little out of reach.
Justin Yoon is 3 shy of Kyle Brins' all-time record for field goals in a Notre Dame career. He has so many other Notre Dame records, including most points scored. Out of the hold of Nolan Henry. And the snap of John Shannon, which wasn't great, but Henry did a good job. And Ian Book now has 350 points in his Notre Dame career. Turnover turns into a field goal. 10-0 Irish. Little assist on the 3 by Nolan Henry. The backup quarterback got it down. Just about 8 miles from here, not the Statue of Liberty, but Studio 8H, Rockefeller Center, Saturday Night Live. Steve Carell is the host. LMA is the musical guest. All new Saturday Night Live. Later tonight, right here on NBC. 30 Rock, among the tall buildings in the city, not too far away. So great to be in New York as the holiday season approaches. Strong pick by Justin Yoon into the wind, no return. The Orange will take over the 25. Dino Babers in the turnaround. Go back. The foundation after Dick McPherson left for the NFL. Paul Pasqualoni had this team as a postseason regular, but then Greg Robinson was hired. It was a mighty struggle. Really damaged the foundation of the program. Doug Marrone took over, went on to the Bills after a couple of 8-win seasons. Scott Schaefer inherited the job, a terrific defensive coordinator. Couldn't get the offense to go. And then Babers was hired. 2 4-win teams and 8 this year. Trying to equal Syracuse's best season since 2001 with a come-from-behind win today or next week against Boston College at Chestnut Hill. A run for 4 yards for the Orange. On first down with Mo Neal, the junior back out of North Carolina, who is their leading rusher. 2 drives, a 3 and out, and a 1-play turnover. So Syracuse try to establish something on the ground here. Right back to Neal. Good opening, and he'll get Syracuse's first down of the afternoon. It's close to the 38-yard line before Tavon Coney in on the tackle.
service. The center gets up on Coney, creates the seam as a spread formation. A lot of gaps. They really have, in the same set they're in right now. Stacked receivers way out by the numbers.
The TV producer nightmare Syracuse offense. They get to the line like they're going to go, and then they wait 15 seconds. Look it and adjust it, and usually the adjustments work pretty well. Here is Neal pushing the pile close to the 44-yard line to pick up a half dozen on first down.
Well, what happens is there's no perimeter run support. They're all out there by the numbers playing patty cake, saying, hi, how you do? They don't have to throw a block because they're going north-south with the run.
Right back out of that same formation this time. Dunie will throw, and he'll complete it to Jamal Custis, the tall receiver at the 46-yard line. And the orange to the Irish side for the first time. Clark Lee, sensational years, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. Clark was the coach of the linebackers on that Syracuse staff with Scott Schaefer, the staff that was let go before Dino Babers and company came in 3 years ago. So this game very personal for Clark. Anytime somebody says it's time to move on, you want to show them no. Designed run here with Dunie. Interesting wrinkle to that play. He'll gain 4 to the 42, and the Irish will change on the fly.
And Syracuse has run this double stack wide formation to open up the middle of the field and get the run support out of there. And consecutive running plays, everything's been positive.
Dunie's limping a little after that play. He's hurt, and he will go down, and they'll come check on him. So Eric Dunie's career
Officials timeout for an injured player
has included so many injuries. He has not been able to finish the season the last couple of years. He got up gingerly out of that pile, but was holding his back and just could not stand up. And the Syracuse athletic training staff immediately out to look at the senior quarterback. You can see, he just took that step. He was in just such pain and goes down. When he got tackled, you could just see him tweaked and turned, and in the pile, felt something bother him in that left lower back area. Tweaked and turned, oft injured these first 3 years, and the athletic training staff of the Orange look at their senior quarterback. Well, that is a very disappointing shot to see, not just for Syracuse fans, but college football fans. Eric Dunie is one of the toughest players that you've seen, taking so many hits over the years. And what looked like a somewhat innocuous play where you don't see anything obvious, he was down for a couple of seconds, as you see in real time, and then gets up and just felt so much pain there. I said left, I meant to say right side. He starts to grab there, and he goes down and was on the ground being looked at by Tim Pike and the rest of the Syracuse medical athletic training staff throughout the timeout. Now is slowly being walked back to the Orange locker room. So Tommy Devito from Cedar Grove, New Jersey, redshirt freshman, comes in. He can throw it. He's going to take a shot right away. Downfield, it is. Caught for the touchdown and dropped. Nakeem Johnson had his hands on it and couldn't pull it in as Devito tries to do what he did in the North Carolina game, come out of the bullpen and throw heat.
Now Devito can spin it. Little early contact. The ball's in the fingertips. And just couldn't maintain possession of the football. But how about that? The confidence you have in your backup quarterback. He's been on the field before, a couple of ball games. Come out and let him fly.
Well, that is a very disappointing shot to see, not just for Syracuse fans, but college football fans. Eric Dunie is one of the... Well, that is a very disappointing shot to see, not just for Syracuse fans, but college football fans. Eric Dunie is one of the toughest players that you've seen, taking so many hits over the years. And what looked like a somewhat innocuous play where you don't see anything obvious, he was down for a couple of seconds, as you see in real time, and then gets up and just felt so much pain there. I said left, I meant to say right side. He starts to grab there, and he goes down and was on the ground being looked at by Tim Pike and the rest of the Syracuse medical athletic training staff throughout the timeout. Now is slowly being walked back to the Orange locker room. So Tommy Devito from Cedar Grove, New Jersey, redshirt freshman, comes in. He can throw it. He's going to take a shot right away. Downfield, it is. Caught for the touchdown and dropped. Nakeem Johnson had his hands on it and couldn't pull it in as Devito tries to do what he did in the North Carolina game, come out of the bullpen and throw heat.
Now Devito can spin it. Little early contact. The ball's in the fingertips. and just couldn't maintain possession of the football. But how about that? The confidence you have in your backup quarterback. He's been on the field before, a couple of ball games. Come out and let him fly.
Pressure from the Irish. Devito putting it up top for Custis. Incomplete. He saw what was coming. Knew there was no safety back there, but couldn't get it to the deep receiver, Jamal Custis. It's 4th and 6 for Syracuse at the 42-yard line.
I love the throw he just made. He's got two guys coming at him. He backpedals it by a fraction of a second at a time, lays it out softly, and hopes his receiver can run under. That's a nice little touch. Just missed it with Custis.
We'll stay with the moment here at 4th and 6, but we'll give you background on Devito later. The headline would be he's come in and saved 2 games for Syracuse. Florida State when Dunie got hurt, and North Carolina when he was ineffective. And now he will quick kick it to try to pin the Irish deep. And they will do just that as it will die just inside the 5. Let's take you back. Not too far from here, Cedar Grove, New Jersey. Played some good high school at Don Bosco Prep. And came into that North Carolina game after Dunie struggled. And right away did almost what he just did there. Nakeem Johnson with a touchdown. And then going to Custis, getting the game to overtime and winning it with a touchdown pass to the tight end, Ravion Pierce. So he comes in, Doug, full of confidence when he gets back on the field.
He can spin it. I mean, the rotation on the ball, the touch on the ball is coming, they say. He's gotten better with the intermediate routes, but the downfield ball, he can just let it fly.
Book and the Irish take over from the 5. Tony Jones Jr. Good job. Patient stretching that out, waiting for the hole to open. A gain of 5 for the junior from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Well, Notre Dame loves to take shots backed up on their own goal line. They're not shy about just airing it out from this area of the field.
Neither play caller is shy today.
Shy
right?
At all. It's like, how fast can we score points?
They both love to air it out. On the give, Jones again. Worked to that second level of blocking, but Ryan Guthrie, the linebacker, would have none of it. Gain of 2 will set up 3rd and 3. And Doug, we talked with Syracuse's defensive coordinator, Brian Ward. He thought these were important downs, 3rd and just from like 3 to 6 yards, 3rd and medium, if you will.
Because Notre Dame is so efficient at this short passing game, and these 3rd and medium situations, Book has been excellent at it. Such a high percentage that, you know, these are the crucial game-changing downs that change possession.
There's Ward missing a couple of players. Josh Black, inside defensive tackles, out with injury. Antoine Cordy did not make the trip for personal reasons. 3rd and 3. Book out. Boykin's got it. First down for the Irish at the 17. Andre Cisco made the tackle. A strong receiver, the leading receiver on this team. Boykin the catch.
Cisco is way off playing from depth and has to fight over. He's not going to get there in time on a short yardage situation or a medium yardage situation.
And that's what you love about Book. He sees that stuff before it is right in front of your eyes. Takes a shot downfield for Claypool. Chase Claypool got it. Adjusted to the ball. Just shy of midfield. 32 on the game. First down, Notre Dame.
Claypool takes off. He gets his head around and sees the ball early. Be able to adjust to it, spin his hips. The key there was that he caught sight of the ball early on and was able to react.
Officially, it'll mark him at midfield, so a gain of 33. As Notre Dame backed off its own 5, now to midfield. Book looking for more, and he's got it with Mack. The tight end inside the 20, inside the 10. First and goal, Notre Dame. Just like that, 2 big plays for the Irish.
Look how comfortable Book is in the pocket. Watch him step up underneath, get that vision, and just an accurate throw. Great route by Mack, but just poise in the pocket.
And they sprint down to get ready to go quick from the 3. It is Jones, and he is stopped. And he'll lose a yard, as a matter of fact, as again it was Guthrie, who we've called 4 times in this opening quarter, leading the parade.
The key to his accuracy throwing the ball,
yes,
is his decisiveness in his decision. He knew where he had his matchup. He knew where he was going with the ball. He just put himself in a position to be able to see it and make the throw.
Doug, he's 11 of 14 here to start the game. 14 throws for 169 yards. It's a lot of catch and run, too. He gives guys chances to make big plays. They throw the lob here. Book will run it inside instead. Gain 2 tough yards that time with Jones. So it'll be 3rd and goal for the Irish. And one of those important early plays, the difference between 7 and 3.
A couple extra tight ends on the field. Claypool single receiver.
Notre Dame brings 89 Brock Wright in. Brian Kelly uses him as a fullback. In front of Jones, 3rd and goal. It's Jones looking left, bouncing outside, in for the touchdown. Flag is down. With a marker down, so hang on a second.
Holding, number 89, offense. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the aforementioned Wright who comes in as a fullback.
Wright's out on the edge trying to turn the corner for him and keeps his left hand a little outside and gives a little pull and a turn.
That pull and turn is what does it, and it's right at the crucial point of the play.
And you're at the end of the line where everybody can see it.
That's right. Our 3-time Super Bowl referee in the booth, Terry McCauley, with us with a nod of the head confirming that that was the right call.
Well, Book's like, okay, good. I get to throw a touchdown pass here, at least the 10th one.
And that's the mindset, too, of this Notre Dame offense with 12 behind the center. So instead of the touchdown, it's 3rd and goal. Book scans underneath. It's almost intercepted off the hands of Williams. Shaheem Cullen almost had a game-changing play. And the Syracuse defense gets the Irish out of the end zone, and a field goal attempt coming for Yoon.
This is a little quick. Williams couldn't get his head around in time. Ball's a little early. I'll tell you, if you pick that one off, you've got a lot of green grass.
Yoon already has 1 field goal. This one would be 56, 1 shy of equaling the all-time Notre Dame record, 30-yarder. Operation clear that time, and he knocks it into the home plate end of Yankee Stadium. Irish have scored in their last 3 drives, 2 of them, though, field goals. 13-0.
Seconds on the play.
Download the NBC Sports app to watch thousands of live sporting events. Stream for free with your NBCSN subscription. Details you can visit NBCSports.com/live. 13-0 Notre Dame. Justin Yoon has been busy in this opening quarter. He'll kick it. And a fair catch signaled by Riley. Syracuse will take over the 25 with Tommy DeVito. Let's go down to Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, we watched Eric Dungey walk off the field. He was walking on his own to the locker room, but he had 2 trainers, one on each side, and both of them had a hand underneath the padding, almost pulling it away from the rib cage and the body. We're continuing to monitor this. No word yet on if he's going to return to this game, Mike.
Okay, Catherine, as we said, Dungey, he bulked up a little bit because he would take so many chances as a runner. He's been much smarter about running this year. And that one was relative to the Dungey highlight reel, a relatively innocuous run, and he gets injured. So DeVito hands on 1st down to run about 6 yards with Mo Neal as we get to the final minute, Doug, of this opening quarter.
You know, Dungey's rushed for really over 800 yards this year if you don't count the sacks. And he's carried the ball so much and been so durable this year. Like you said, that wasn't the biggest hit in the world for him.
Neal up the middle, powering inside, gain of nearly 10 for the Orange. DeVito is not the running threat Dungey is. So they'll have to do it more traditionally on the ground. Final half minute, 3rd straight carry for Neal. Nice bounce to the outside, chased by Coney. And the speed of the running back takes it to the 47-yard line. The junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. Like the Irish lead running back, comes off a career game as well. Had 159 as they beat Louisville last week in the Dome.
Well, they're finding something with spreading them out and running straight ahead. They've had some work between Service and Adams, the right guard and center, and hit that gap twice in a row there. He had to bounce it.
Likely the final play of this quarter, and the Irish know what you know and what everybody knew, so they shut that baby down and end a very dominant Notre Dame first quarter. After one at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, Notre Dame 13, Syracuse nothing. We're back with more after these messages from your local station. Glad you're with us on this special Saturday. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. The 2018 Shamrock Series aerial coverage brought to you by Tourism Ireland. In 2020, Dublin will host the Notre Dame Navy matchup. Find out more at Ireland.com. At the Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, our rules analysts. William McHugh, Chris Sims with us for the pregame and the halftime. Orange, 3rd and 4. Devito, shot play, downfield, intercepted. Alohi Gilman. He run it all the way. It was intended for Taj Harris, and the Irish have come up with 2 interceptions on the first 4 Syracuse drives.
Gilman saw this coming all the way, drifted with the quarterback's eyes and breaks on the ball. You have to try to hold the safety with your eyes a little bit and then put this ball over the outside shoulder of the receiver. Here's Gilman. He's going to get back to the middle of the field, but eyes the quarterback's eyes and breaks on the ball. If that ball is thrown to the outside between the numbers in the sideline or the receiver in the sideline, he's got a chance. But it's straight up the field. Gilman saw it all the way.
Gilman from Hawaii, the transfer from Navy set out last year, has really helped lock down along with Jalen Elliott the safety position for the Irish this year. So Book takes over. That first look was taken away again. He's looking for space. He's going to go down and take the loss of 3 yards on that one.
That's one of those where the protection's actually pretty good, but the route wasn't there, so he's holding on to the ball, looking for somewhere to go, and he's stuck behind his offensive line. Looking. I can't, there's no crease. Where am I going to go?
Been there?
Been there. I backpedaled out of that before and reset.
We've seen you do that. We've seen you make magic in that spot. 2nd and 13. It's going to be a hand to Chris Fink coming around the edge, and Fink on the run. Will be right close to a first down. That's the 3rd run of the year, and the longest one for Chris Fink. It'll move the chains, a gain of exactly 13 for the former walk-on from Dayton, Ohio, who is really the glue to this offense.
With the year he's had, that's his longest run from scrimmage on those reverses?
On the runs, yeah.
But he's their go-to in 3rd and medium plays. When they need a play, they go to Chris Fink.
Look, a little twist with the 2 receivers. Fink's got it again. He's got a gain of about 8 yards. Here's a guy, Doug, you just didn't know if he was going to be an impact player. You probably thought he wasn't going to be a late add-on, oh, by the way, add-on, preferred walk-on. But to watch his growth the last 3 years has been quite something.
How about from him, your mindset? If you're a walk-on, I just want to be a part of the team. I want to get to be a scholarship player, do whatever I can on special teams.
It's been more than that. Look at Book put the foot in the ground and fire, but Boykin couldn't catch. Christopher Frederick on the coverage for the Orange. And here's another one of those 3rd and mediums, as Syracuse's defensive coordinator described medium to us this week. 3 to 6 yards.
And as a quarterback, everything's in play. Quick slants, little flat routes, all that those types of passes you can pick up this yardage with.
Orange bring pressure and force Book to get rid of it quickly, and the pass is incomplete. Andrew Armstrong, who comes in at 3rd down, usually drops in pass coverage. This time brought the heat and made Book get rid of it.
Yeah, it's 3-on-3 to the left and 3 against 2 on the right side, so you have 3 rushers coming in your face. You got to get rid of it hot. Not enough time to make an accurate throw. Just brought 6, more than they could block.
2nd punt of the game for Tyler Newsome. Sean Riley waiting back there. It was a poor pick, and over at the sideline, it was picked up by Nakeem Johnson, who advanced it forward and out of bounds, and Syracuse get it at the 45-yard line. So only a 22-yard net out of that one. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com. By Discover Guard, we treat you like you treat you. And by the all-new 2018 Jeep Wrangler. I want to talk about some running back tradition. Both schools have them. Floyd Little, three-time All-American, their all-time leading rusher for Notre Dame, Autry Denton, is coaching up the Irish running backs now. He stays a part of it. His picture's up in the running back room. The story's there. We're talking about Syracuse's good running game. They've improved in that category significantly this year. 27th in the country. One of the reasons, a strong offensive line with a lot of experience. Coda Martin headlines that. Catherine has more on the starting right tackle for the Orange.
Well, Mike, you mentioned earlier how he lives in Coach Baber's basement. I asked him this week about that. He said it's definitely a unique experience. I don't know if there have been any players who have played for their father-in-law, but I get a little extra football now and then. Late at night when he comes home, early in the morning before he leaves, there's always extra coaching, and it's a football family, he said. So it's been a really lot of fun to be a part of. He said you got to work harder, though, when you're the coach's son and also son-in-law, Mike.
That's right. Kirk Martin, the quarterback's coach, Tommy DeVito, who's running there. He went down and the ball came out. It is ruled on the field at the moment a fumble and recovered by the Irish. And returning it is Alohi Gilman to the 45-yard line. And thought he was down at first. We'll take another peek at it. Dino Babers
ruling on the field is
the same.
Recovered by the defense.
Rusty Aker, the replay official, for a look, and he was down. And that should be a quick review. Mentioned DeVito doesn't run as much as Dungy, but obviously has the athleticism to do so.
You need to have that threat in your offense of the quarterback being a runner. Then you can block man on man, not have the unblocked guy, and do all the other stuff becomes an option if the quarterback's a threat.
So they'll move the ball back. Syracuse already turned it over twice. This the start of a very big weekend. We have the NASCAR Championship and the Vikings and Bears on Sunday night. Next Thanksgiving, we'll have the nightcap of the NFL trifecta. Doug, very interesting with Syracuse as you look at the replay review, and the Orange probably getting the ball back in the best field position they've had so far. Those two field goals, you were saying in the break that Notre Dame couldn't punch it in for touchdown, one nullified by penalty. Do you think significant in this game?
Absolutely. 2 turnovers from Syracuse. Notre Dame dominates the first quarter, up and down the field, only come away with 13 points. So one drive by Syracuse is a 6-point game.
The runner was down prior to losing possession of the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 for Syracuse at the minus 44-yard line. Excuse me, the plus 44-yard line. The clock should be set to 12:59, and we'll start on my signal.
Plus 44, the minus 44, let you a little bit back into the sausage-making process of officiating and football coaches. It's your own 44, they'll refer to as the minus, or if you're the other team's 44, they'll say the plus. So the Orange get that first down and take over there. Not much in the passing game yet for Syracuse, and a run there that will go nowhere this time with Dante Strickland, the second back, the senior from New Jersey, Tavon Coney, who is the leading tackler for the Irish, made the tackle. Well, you're going to look at Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx, which has hosted football games in its new iteration, legendary football games at the old stadium. And here it is the biggest matchup of the day, number 3 Notre Dame, jumping out to the early lead. Syracuse's quarterback, Eric Dungy, with an injury, left a couple of drives ago. Tommy DeVito in his place, swinging it out to Strickland, who takes it to the 40-yard line for the Orange at 8-2. There are only 2 losses, overtime at Pittsburgh and by 4 at Clemson, to the number 2 team in the country. And the Syracuse player who is hurt on that one. And it is Taj Harris, the freshman receiver from Beverly, New Jersey, who's been a big impact player for Syracuse this year. So look at the receiver Harris as we step out.
Leaving you with a game break. Wild one in the Big Ten. Maryland looking to upset number 10 Ohio State. Anthony McFarland spinning, trying desperately to get in. Fumbles the football, but Maryland recovers it and scores. Right now, though, Ohio State is driving in this one late in the fourth.
Yeah, Liam, down 7. They're at the 7, and the Terps will keep you updated on that one. 1,136 yards of offense in that game so far. Ohio State gets Michigan next week. 3rd and 6 for Syracuse. Here is DeVito in trouble, being chased, and Heinisch with a sack. Kurt Heinisch, the sophomore from Pittsburgh on the pass rush, gets his first sack.
It's just a four-man rush. He had three receivers out in the route to the left. Actually did have an open, but Heinisch fights through and just pushes deep into the pocket. That's just a pure strength right there, pushing through, getting underneath his man, getting to the quarterback. Riley was open in the flat. He was a little disappointed to get the ball. I'm waiting to see him get the ball in the open field.
Couldn't get it to the speedy short Syracuse receivers as Sterling Hoffrichter drops the nose down, tries to pin Fink in the Irish deep, and they run into the intended punt receiver in Fink. So that'll take Notre Dame out around the 26-yard line.
Kick catch interference, number 42, kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Terrell Richards, the defensive lineman.
They got a little crowded there trying to go after the ball, so at the last second, Fink tries to get out of the way. It bounces up and hits him, so there's a panic mode for him if that's not called. But Richards definitely bumped the returner.
Jamal Custis, who's a very good gunner for Syracuse, was also down there and in the way. So the Irish get better field position at the 26-yard line. Ian Book has been incredibly accurate thus far today and continues here with Chase Claypool. Got out of a tackle and is out of bounds over the 34-yard line. Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly wanted a flag over there on the hit on the sideline. Gun thrown, gain of none.
Again, the accuracy on those kind of throws, that's a wide side. I know it's a short route, but it's a wide side throw that he puts right on the front number.
A couple of drops with 13 of 19, add one to each column as Fink gets the first down across the 40 and keeps going with strength before Trill Williams brings him down to the 44-yard line.
It's a great job of blocking by his receiver buddies out there in the open field. And Fink, he just keeps making plays. I like both number 10s on the field for each team.
Speak of Riley for Syracuse, their quick punt return slash receiver. Shot play down the sideline. Here is caught by Boykin. He's inbounds down at the 32-yard line. The Syracuse sideline was looking for offensive pass interference, and the push-off, it's not called.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a push-off and step back for the ball. Actually, the hands were on Frederick, but he didn't push. He had his hands on him, but just spun, saw the ball in the air. And the key, again, is how early do you pick up the football?
Irish on the move again. And another flag for false start, third for Notre Dame today.
Full start. Number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The right tackle, Hainsey, has two, and now the left tackle, Liam Eichenberg, gets one.
A little bit of a head bob going. Yeah, a little bit of a lean, little bob.
I think Eichenberg's been a surprise player this year.
Absolutely. He's the least experienced of the guys up front. He's been solid as a rock all year long and has progressed throughout the year as well.
The only thing that slowed down the Irish so far, a couple of their penalties on 1st and 15. Syracuse trying to grab at the ball as it's run for 3 yards with Jafar Armstrong. Kyler Whitner with the tackle. So Armstrong, the sophomore, missed 3 games with a knee injury. An ankle slowed him down the last couple of games. Notre Dame finally at full strength in the running back position for Brian Kelly with Dexter Williams, Tony Jones, and Armstrong.
Yeah, when Dexter Williams came back, all of a sudden you added a home run hitter to this offense running the football, and it has made a big difference.
A little confusion there with Book and Armstrong, and Brian Kelly will take a timeout.
Notre Dame, their first of the half.
So we'll step out, 8:54 till halftime. Irish. Top performances brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The first time Notre Dame and Syracuse played at Yankee Stadium, 1963. Irish took a 7-6 lead on Tom McDonald's touchdown catch. But the Orange came back, 35-yard touchdown pass. Rich King connecting with Mike Koski. It was the Orange men then. Syracuse won that game 14-7. The old Yankee Stadium. That site is now a park that was built. You see that the bottom of your screen as the new stadium went up, opening in 2009. With all the games we mentioned played over the years, and so much Notre Dame history tied into the old stadium. You can see the Irish back in the Bronx. Here is Book under pressure, gets away, and Book keeps it and runs out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So Syracuse brought multiple bits of pressure, and Book does a nice job to avoid a loss.
Well, Coleman comes off the left edge, and there's great push up the middle. He somehow slides up under and through. And Ian Book, like I said, he's more athletic than people give him credit for.
Nice job using the pass fake on big hitting Evan Foster. Foster is the guy who knocked out Trevor Lawrence, the Clemson quarterback, in that game. 3rd and 7. Here's Book to Boykin, got the first down and more. Boykin picking up blockers to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Irish. He does it in front of Kylan Whitner for a gain of 21.
Great vision again by Book on a corner blitz. To see that this is one of the toughest things to see coming from your blind side as a quarterback, and you can only read the rotation at the top of the coverage to indicate it. It's very difficult to see, and he's seen it 2 for 2.
Irish in the red zone. Book has nothing open here. He escapes and throws it away. Incomplete as Alton Robinson, Syracuse's top sack man with 9 this year, was about to hit him.
Good push, 4-man rush with a late 5th guy coming only because of the back staying in, what we call green dog. If your back blocks, then you come. So it just added a 5th man in the rush and just becomes a mess in front of your face as a quarterback.
Syracuse twice has kept Notre Dame out of the end zone, forcing field goals, helped stay in the game. Gonna have to do it again here on the edge. It is a good run to the 4-yard line by Armstrong. So Jafar Armstrong getting this series for the Irish. Good job on the edge.
Cullen is one-on-one with him in the open field, and as a runner, you see the goal line in front of you. You'll do anything you can to step back. Great tackle, because when you smell that goal line, you're trying to pull away any way you can.
3rd and goal from the 3. Fink on the little touch pass. He slips, he falls. He's shy of the goal line. Let's see if Kelly goes for this from the 1-yard line. If you don't make it, you leave Syracuse down there. Irish jumping the ball, and Jerry Tillery looked like he was thinking about coming in from the sideline, but he stays out. The Irish don't change personnel, and Syracuse calls for timeout. Dino Babers did a 40-yard dash down the sideline and got in front of the official to call timeout. Dino may be 57 years old, but even the line judge giving them props for the wheels as he hustled down the sideline to get the timeout.
Back in my day, the players on the field usually called the timeout. So this is the sight you see a lot now. Coaches sprinting down the sideline, trying to get the attention of an official. Nice wheel. What was that, 4.75?
Well, he finished the run, too. He didn't want to pull anything, so he got to
idle down. Don't stop too abruptly.
That was a huge play. We saw Tillery put his helmet on. There he is, number 99, the Irish top sack man on.
Does he get that on the offensive huddle?
Well, that thought for a moment that maybe he would get that first career touchdown opportunity at Yankee Stadium, but instead he will come back. Tony Jones Jr. is the back. Notre Dame brings Brock Wright in at fullback.
A lot of play action passes out of this set for Notre Dame.
4th and goal. Book strips, fumbled, intercepted in the end zone. Book was stumbling and bumbling, tried to get his feet for the pop pass to the tight end, but Andre Cisco comes up with the pick.
1st and 10, Syracuse.
And the first mistake, and the Irish again, they could be blowing Syracuse out, and they are really, Syracuse, lucky to be down only 13. Book was trying not to go down, trying not to turn it over, put it up for grabs. And waiting back there for the Orange is the man who's one of the top INT men in the country, I should say. Cisco with his 6th pick. Yankee Stadium to Soldier Field tomorrow night. The Vikings and the Bears for the lead in the NFC North. We'll start you with Football Night in America, 7 Eastern Time. Then Al, Chris, and Michelle will have it for you. Mitchell Trubisky, the young quarterback, off to a terrific start for first-year head coach Matt Nagy. And that Vikings tough defense of Mike Zimmer. Looking forward to that one tomorrow night right here on NBC. Orange take over at the 20-yard line to begin this drive. Dante Strickland with the run to the 23. Let's go back to the fourth down play. Doug, what'd you see?
Watch your right guard, Tommy Kramer's left foot. He steps down and steps on Ian Book's right foot. Stumble out of center. Very recognizable stumble for me. On fourth down, I'm putting this ball up too. I'm sorry. It's fourth down. I'll throw it in the end zone. You lost 18 yards of field position. Actually, only 13 because you would have fallen down anyway.
Here is Devito throwing. Kept it up in there a long time. Incomplete. It was intended for Nykeem Johnson. Coverage by Troy Pride Jr. The Syracuse offense, which usually moves it well, has been bad today. 2 of 9, the two quarterbacks combined in the passing game. And I'd say a lot of credit for that goes to the Irish defense. They've been very good so far.
No doubt. They've got pressure on him, and the coverage has been excellent. Sitting on routes and breaking on that seam route on the interception. Route recognition becomes a big factor in spread offense.
37, and they're going to run here with Strickland get the first down and more as he runs over Alohi Gilman to the 36-yard line. So on 37, they go ground to get a first down, and
officials timeout.
One of the Notre Dame players is injured. Drew Tranquil, so huge to this team, who's been battling an ankle injury the last 2 weeks, on a knee at the 25.
Watch this as they go down, down, and around. And there is nothing home, and then Gilman has one-on-one with a big back.
Powerful run for the 204-pounder Strickland, who they use so often and so well in the pass game. Tranquil, who is a semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy, the academic Heisman. We've told you a couple of times he's been dealing with a sprained ankle throughout the last few weeks. He runs into his fellow linebacker Tavon Coney there. Those two guys who have run into everything on the opposition this year found each other.
It's just amazing with him getting banged up throughout the year. He just keeps going, makes no excuses for it, lines back up and plays. He's used to having that, it's not really a cast, but the wrap or whatever on his right wrist all year.
Into that back in the Stanford game at the end of September, has played through that fractured metacarpal and then the ankle injury suffered against Navy. After the first down, Devito throws. It's complete across midfield. Out of the game earlier, back in the freshman Taj Harris. Good-looking freshman for Syracuse, averaging 14 a grab. Got 17 there.
Pretty throwing timing. That's encouraging for Devito right there.
Yeah, this is what Syracuse has been doing a lot of. Jump the ball, threaten to go at warp speed, and come back and come with a second play. Strickland met in the open field by the boundary corner Julian Love, all-American level play every week this year.
Yeah, he is a physical football player as well as a great cover guy. He gets physical receivers. He comes up and tackles. He takes the toughest assignment every week.
Second and 12, Devito. Tillery was being held. That pass is intercepted. On the deflection. Gilman's got it again. Alohi Gilman inbounds down the sideline. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. First and goal for the Irish at the 9. 2 picks in the half for Gilman. That one off the hands of the freshman receiver Harris.
I'm getting ready to say what a great throw by Devito. Right on the numbers. 2 consecutive throws. Beautiful ball. And Gilman rips it out, knocks it out, finds the ball, and then gets a convoy down the right side. Just a tremendous play, staying after it.
And terrific blocking, like you said, downfield. Sean Riley tried to pull it away from him, but could not.
Just never conceding that it's a reception, staying after the ball.
Dexter Williams, the back. First and goal for Book. Inside handoff, walk-in, touchdown, Notre Dame. Jafar Armstrong. His 7th touchdown of the season.
Little toss fake out to the left, misdirection. Leon Eichenberg is pulling from left to right and really has to find somebody to try to block. It's just nobody home. Deception, misdirection.
We haven't seen a lot of cheap backs in the backfield for the Irish this year. And they do it. It's a terrific play design and play call by Chip Long. Dunie again knocks another one through. And Notre Dame takes advantage of their dominant play by punching that one in. The interception for Gilman. That safety play has been a big difference in this Notre Dame season. And the payoff right away with Armstrong. Number 3, up 20-0 at Yankee Stadium. Brian Kelly hit the reset button a couple of years ago, brought in new coordinators. On the offensive side was Chip Long, who was at Memphis. Boy, he has really brought a very creative offense to the Irish, and we have seen it on display throughout this season. Sean Riley with the kickoff return for the Orange. He'll take it to the 30-yard line. And Doug, you've been watching week in, week out. He has done a sensational job with his play call.
You know, I say he gives you a layup touchdown pass every week.
Timeout for an injured player.
Notre Dame player injured on the kickoff coverage. As Long and the rest looked on. Is Paul Moala, the safety, who is hurt for Notre Dame. So they look at the freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, and there's no contact there, and then he went down grabbing at his leg. I hate to see that. So Moala is down. Mishawaka is just right outside of South Bend, so he's a local guy who grew up with a great passion for the Notre Dame program. Opportunity to play here. Injured for the moment. Be back in 30 seconds. And there you see Moala being helped off and walking under his own power, so the hope is that he is okay. We mentioned Penn High School in Mishawaka. We were talking about Chip Long before, but Doug, so impressive, the inventory of offense that he is able to access with personnel groups on a regular basis.
And he has trick plays every week that come in new that they rehearse all year long. I say that he gives you a layup every game. By scheme alone, you call this play on the +20 on the left hash, it's a layup of a touchdown. He gives that to you as a quarterback. He just did it in the run game.
The Orange take over at the 28. The run game has been the best part of the Syracuse offense so far, and Dante Strickland carries to the 32. You know, it's funny, there's some eye-popping passing and offense usually from both of these teams. But at their core, they want to be running football teams, and that is when they are at most efficiency. Tommy Devito, the freshman, fires. It's incomplete as he tried to get it over to Taj Harris again. If you are just joining us, Devito, the redshirt freshman, not too far from here, Cedar Grove, New Jersey. He's in because Eric Dungey, Syracuse's senior quarterback, was injured on the 3rd drive of this game. Dino Babers saw his record-setting quarterback go out. Upper body injury was the only information we got. But it has been Devito since, and another 3rd down run with Strickland and another Syracuse 1st down. They do this often. Effective with a gain of 14 to the 45.
Both pullers from the right side of the line. Martin pulling around and giving a good block, getting up through the middle.
Devito's pass is deflected and incomplete. Call it Kareem got his hand up there. I talked to Brian Kelly about this week. They've been so good up front, and there's no drop in effectiveness when Kareem and Bonner and Tillery and Okwara come out, because there are good backups ready to get on the field. And the starter's back on the field, too. Drew Tranquil after the injury on the last drive. They're going to attempt. Kareem chasing Devito. Gets out and gets rid of it and benches it. Incomplete. Kenzie Pierre caught it over there.
Well, you were just, here comes Kareem off the left side, but you were talking about being so deep in the defensive line. All these guys think they can be starters. So when they get their opportunity, they're fresh and they're trying to prove something.
Devito, good awareness there, knew he was out of the tackle box. He could just get rid of it, throw it away. No grounding. Got time on 3rd and 10. He'll take a shot downfield, and it is out of bounds. It was caught. Terrific job to go up and get it by the freshman Harris, but he couldn't stay in bounds. As a couple of Irish players got tangled in their pass rush effort back by the quarterback, but to get up okay. Pride was on the coverage.
Boy, you get a shot to go downfield one-on-one, especially with a big receiver. Keep the ball in bounds. Give him a shot to go after the ball. Custis can go up and get it over anybody. Leave that throw in bounds.
Punt number 4 for Sterling Hoffrichter, who's resetting the play clock. Irish defense has limited the Orange offense to 114 yards so far here today. Kick by Hoffrichter this time. Fink will let it go, and the Orange will down it. 46-yard kick. Syracuse will take over at the 9. So Ian Book getting it done today in many ways. Just under 70% for this game. But you talk about accurate quarterbacks in Notre Dame history. That's record-setting stuff. Brady Quinn, 65. Quarterback coach now, Tommy Rees, 65. Jimmy Clausen, 68. That's the record book. But it'll be Ian's record if he keeps going. 74.5% coming into today in his accuracy. The NCAA record for a season is Colt McCoy at 76.7. And Doug, we talked about what Notre Dame can do with Book at quarterback. Brandon Wimbush was the starter. He's on the field next to Book here. And he comes and takes this inside handoff. And he will get no gain. The starting quarterback last week. Terrific career, 13-3 as a starter, including last week's game. But Book has come in, and to the full credit of Wimbush, he stayed ready, and he stayed very engaged in this team.
He's been a model teammate. He went to coach a couple of weeks back and asked if there's any way he can get on the field and help the team any way he can.
2nd and 10, and on the read, Book will keep, and he will lose 2 yards. Syracuse ready for that with Kylan Whitner, one of the 12 semifinalists for the Danny Werfel Trophy, which goes to athletes who are community service, athletic, and academic stars, and he has been all of the above. The senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Top tackler on this team was a safety when it all began, and in closing his Orange career as a very effective linebacker. So 0 and a loss for 2 with the 2 quarterbacks on the field together. Book throwing on 3rd and 12. He's got Claypool. He's got the first down to the 23-yard line. And the catch and run, because of the accurate throw, part of the story of Ian Book this year.
Throwing the ball underneath and getting it off the run after catch.
Shot play downfield as Book airs it out. Claypool almost went right through the corner to make a great catch. Scoop Bradshaw, who was questionable to play going into this week, out there on the field for Syracuse.
I thought this ball was way overthrown at first, and he ran it down and almost had an opportunity. Great position by Bradshaw.
Inside of 2 minutes till halftime. Chris and Liam will get you updated on everything that happened today, including that wild Ohio State-Maryland game. This Book pass is incomplete, intended for Alize Mack, the tight end.
Syracuse is starting to challenge the routes a little bit more, playing a little tougher. They're playing off coverage a lot throughout the first quarter. Now they're trying to get their hands on receivers, little tighter windows on the throws.
A lot of what we thought would happen in this game has happened. Notre Dame's been able to throw. They haven't been able to run on Syracuse. Syracuse has been able to run. The difference is the Orange passing game has not been there at all. They're a combined 4 of 16 for 29 yards. 4 completions and 3 interceptions. That doesn't add up if you're trying to pull an upset of the number 3 team in the country. This is 3rd and 10. The blitz is picked up. Booking on the shot play downfield. Incomplete. Looking for Fink. They're letting him play down the sideline. Alan Stritzinger, who usually plays more of a linebacker role, moved to the nickel this spring and involved in coverage with that thin Syracuse secondary.
Again, though, it's press coverage. He's got hands on the receiver. There may be a little grabbing and pulling going on, but at least they're right there trying to make a tight throw in coverage, so the coverage is tightened up.
The only way Syracuse can get back in this game is to score. and then get the ball to start the second half and score. See what kind of field position they get. This kid goes back to Riley at the 31, a fair catch. We're back in 30 seconds to watch the final 100 seconds of this first half. All right, the Orange will take over at the 31-yard line with 2 timeouts and a minute 40. They'll begin it with a run of 9. An inside run game has worked. Dante Strickland has been the best Syracuse offensive player on the field thus far in this one. 6 carries, right around 43 yards so far. Here is Strickland again, trying to bounce it to the outside. Kareem had him. A 5, and when we get to the end of this half, it's the State Farm halftime report. Liam McHugh, Chris Sims down on the field, and Catherine will visit with Justin Tuck. Of course, a great Giants career, familiar around New York, and of course a Notre Dame star. And the highlights from these games have been exciting in the early window as well. Kareem is injured, as we have seen a few times during the year for the Irish. They're taking a look at his left leg here, as he twisted Strickland around, Doug.
Spinning, plants that left. I don't want to guess. But he planted hard on that left leg. He planted hard on his left leg. For Syracuse in this situation, you know, like you said, scoring before the half, very important for them. And picking up that first down initiates the drive and opens up the play call.
But Tommy Devito, as you know, quarterbacks have become so recruited from 9th, 10th grade with things like the Elite 11. They get the best quarterbacks to put them together, and they room together, they hang out. Well, Tommy Devito was in that Elite 11, one of the top pro-style quarterbacks coming out, certainly attracted to Syracuse with the regional proximity in New Jersey, and the Dino Babers pass-happy offense. That's to midfield and a complete. Spun out of bounds is Sean Riley by Julian Love, and Syracuse takes timeout.
Timeout. Syracuse, their second of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Doug, I know you love when we talked to Dino this week. His philosophy on recruiting players because of the home field that Syracuse has.
You're playing indoors. You know you're going to be a passing offense. You get athletes to come because you have 6 or 7 home games. Indoors, perfect conditions to turn it loose and throw the football. You know, that type of offense, you go on the road late in the year. Now, it's good weather today, but it could have been messy.
Sure.
And that type of offense in a messy condition could be very tough.
It's a chance for those players as he pitches it. Hey, if you can throw it or catch it or run it, you're going to get half your career indoors. This is a special game for not just the Syracuse players, but the Notre Dame players as well, to come back to Yankee Stadium, where so much of Notre Dame's football history has been written. Not in this one, the old stadium across the street, but the 27 championships, the retired numbers, and 2 tradition-rich sports entities meeting here today. Drew Tranquil comes up with a sack of Devito back at the 46-yard line. And that is 2.5 sacks for Tranquil on the season. Syracuse takes a timeout.
Timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Tranquil's coming from depth, actually on the Shamrock logo. Comes from depth, late, so no one picks him up, no one sees him coming. The only possibility is the back coming across. Fights off the block, makes the sack. He's all over the field. He plays downhill. We say this all the time about the run game, but even in the blitz, in the run game, he deciphers things, comes downhill hard. When he makes a decision to go, he's gone. It was actually a nice job of Strickland scanning protection and coming across from right to left to have a shot at picking him up, but got beat.
You see some of the monuments we were talking about here at the stadium and the walk through Monument Park.
I was there. I got my picture with Babe Ruth.
Walked you through, got you over to the Babe Ruth statue, or the Babe Ruth monument to take your picture there. 3rd and 9 for Devito. In trouble, and just gets rid of it as he was about to get sacked. Dalen Hayes coming off the edge for Notre Dame. Led the charge. Julian Okwara, Jerry Tiller, they were all there.
Okwara coming off the edge on Conway, gets a hand to the face, but fights through it. It's getting low and ducking under that shoulder. Ends up with hands to the face, could have been called, but he still gets there anyway.
been a difference maker this year. The front four of the Irish, they've been able to get pressure with 4, cover with 7, and hugely impact opposing offenses all year. So Hofrichter will kick it to the sideline, and it's out of bounds at the 19-yard line, a punt of 35 yards. Talk about Ian Book's season-long accuracy. How about today, Doug?
He makes his efficient offense. I mean, the ball is on the money. When he has an easy throw, it's on the numbers and an opportunity to run after the catch. Putting the ball in position, the back shoulder throws are great communication by the receivers. It's seeing the ball, knowing the leverage of the defender. He's upfield, so I'm expecting the back shoulder. The ball's right where it has to be. Boykin finds it.
35 seconds, 20-point lead. Irish comfortable here. They will check out and get to the locker room. Syracuse held scoreless in a half for the first time this year. And Notre Dame now 6 quarters away from an undefeated season and a terrific opportunity to be part of the college football playoff. All the offensive attention with 305 yards, but they shut that unit down. Syracuse averages 44 a game. They get nothing in the half. The State Farm halftime report with Liam and Chris coming up after these messages. And a word from your local NBC station.
I grew up thinking I would play Major League Baseball, so to be playing football in one of the premier Major League Baseball stadiums is pretty sweet.
He is Mr. November!
Derek Jeter, he's like one of the greats.
The goal at Notre Dame is to win a national championship. Wherever they put the ball down, we'll be ready to play.
For the goal of championship, and this is a place where champions have been crowned and won over the years, back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Except for the third quarter, Notre Dame 20, Syracuse nothing. Let's check our quarterback comparison, brought to you by Volkswagen. Get a look at the numbers so far, and it's not Eric Dungey, but Tommy Devito, an upper body injury for Dungey in the first half. So Devito's come in, 2 interceptions there. One was not his fault. Ian Book has been as good as advertised. And Doug, for everything we've said about Notre Dame and the test and all that other stuff, they've got to feel great about that first half.
Oh, they really do. They should have a lot more points on the board. They're probably frustrated at that, but they dominated. Offense, defense created turnovers. Ian Book throwing the football exceptional. Syracuse has to find a way to get their offense cranked up.
How do they do that?
I think Devito's going to have to go up the field a little bit and hit the middle of the field because Notre Dame is rolling the corners up and taking away the easy throws for him. So you're going to have to hold the ball a little bit, so they got to hold up in protection and hit those mid-range throws.
I'm thinking of the Clemson game. Syracuse was effective on offense. They did a good job. They scored 23 in that one. It's been a terrific performance by Clark Lee's defense. Now, Syracuse loses its quarterback, so, of course, there's an asterisk there. But I've watched Syracuse's offense pretty much every game for the last 3 years since Dino Babers. They always move the ball. This Notre Dame defense deserves its place among the top in college football. We don't talk about it much, but I'm more impressed with them every week I see them.
In Syracuse, their slot backs are shifty and fast. Their outside guys are big and have length to them, can go up and get the ball. So it's been shut down by the secondary and good pass rush.
Justin Yoon kicked it. Sean Riley returns it for the Orange. 2 terrific moves to get past the 24 and out of bounds right around the 25. Let's go down to the field at Yankee Stadium. Here's Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, Brian Kelly wasn't too disappointed in his team's performance in that first half. He said we were sloppy. We had a lot of uncharacteristic penalties, some false starts, took us out of scoring opportunities, but we need to stay confident. I think we played pretty well. On Tommy Devito changing anything for the Irish, he said, well, they're going to throw the ball a lot more. We need to be prepared. Dino Babers had no update on Eric Dungey, said we'll have to wait and see, and he goes, we got to get some more doggone points. We need to get points, and we're going to do it by going nice and slow against this team, Mike.
He's not used to being shut out in a half, as we said earlier. Thanks, Tap. It's 40 degrees as the sun has gone down here in the South Bronx on this cool night, run by Mo Neal for 3 yards. Catherine is a New Yorker, and as a native New Yorker growing up, I can tell you this city was in complete shutdown mode when they got a few inches of snow on Thursday. It was crazy, and it was a big effort to try to get this field playable, and the field has held up so far. Much better. You see all the remnants of that surprise November snowstorm. Neal puts the shoulder down to the 31-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd and 5. Tavon Coney on the tackle.
Well, they have come out and tried to establish the run. Take it slow might mean line up, see your assignment, know what you're doing. We're missing too many assignments going fast. So let's go some 2 back and help out our offensive line.
Big Chris Elmore, 36, who's listed at 282 pounds. He's the hair coming out of the back of the helmet. Thanks, Foots. He is a unique player on this team, plays a fullback role. Usually where he goes, the ball goes. And there he goes, and there the ball goes, and the Irish know that too. And they're able to stop Syracuse with Neal on that 3rd down run. Asmar Bilal, who has moved into that rover position this year on the tackle. And it'll bring up 4th down, and that's exactly what Syracuse didn't need and Notre Dame wanted. 3 and out to start.
Well, they really wanted to come out, establish the run there, and try to hammer the football a little bit and get physical and at least create a little attitude. 3 and out.
Sterling Hofrichter leads the ACC in 50-plus yard punts. High snap, he pulled it down, did a nice job. And gets off a 38-yarder, fake from the 30 and on the run. Will do a nice job to pick through the traffic. Beautiful return. 16 on the take back. Fink brings it out to give the Irish good field position at the 46-yard line. Talking about those field conditions, here's what it looked like yesterday at Yankee Stadium. They had to make sure that they put together a couple of tarps to cover the outfield, which you normally do not do, obviously. And they were here super late last night, working Thursday night once the snow cleared. And time lapse, and it was ready to play come early today. On 1st down, here is Book with the keep. And Ian Book runs it to the outside and gets about 8 yards. Ball's ripped out of his hands, but I believe it was out of bounds first. Trill Williams went right for the ball, and he got it. It looked like Book may have been on the white when it all happened. Let's see.
Right at the end of the run.
Book wasn't.
He's in bounds. What do you think?
Let's bring in Terry McCauley, our official on duty. Terry, would you look at that?
Well, I would have think we would have stopped that one. It looked like he had the football in bounds before he went out of bounds. Should have been a fumble and recovery by the defense.
Well, it was a fumble, or rather a turnover.
Right there, he's got possession.
No, that's defense. He sure does.
15-yard.
And on the other play, Williams was called for a face mask as he tackled Fink for a 1st down. It's interesting, Terry. I really don't understand why in this world where you have replay, don't you at least stop it to look at it in that case? If we asked about it, they don't wait for us. They can do it on their own. Here is the face mask on Fink. I didn't see if he saw the head turn. I don't know if he had the grab or not.
So you go from a potential turnover to a penalty and down inside the 30-yard line.
28. Williams out of the would-be tackle of Guthrie. Down to the 20-yard line. Good run by Dexter Williams.
He's got such explosiveness, quick plant, cut back inside, north-south cut. He really has added another dimension to this team.
I agree. Okay, full credit to Notre Dame for getting to the line, running the play quick, and take advantage of the inability of the replay booth to do their job properly and at least look at it. Williams to the right. Big hit after the gain of 6. Evan Foster, who we tagged before as that big hitter for Syracuse, comes up with the play.
Again, Williams going to the outside. Hainsey, 72, gets in front of him and turns the corner for him. Cuts it north and south. When he makes a decision to go, his acceleration up through the hole is exceptional.
First and 10 for the Irish. It is Williams trying to pick through the traffic inside with no gain.
Looked like old single wing stuff. People going misdirection, fake pitch. Chip Long getting creative. That's similar to what they scored a touchdown on the misdirection down by the goal line.
A lot of offensive inventory here, heading towards the home plate end of Yankee Stadium. On 2nd and 10, Williams. A good thing Book decided to give it because Alton Robinson, I beg your pardon, was ready and waiting. Out of Converse, Texas, spent a year at Northeast Oklahoma A&M, and has been good at Syracuse his first couple of seasons.
Yeah, Robinson coming off the edge. Book at the last second was thinking, maybe I'll take it back up. Just hold on to the ball. Don't end up in a turnover. Nice play. Hat off to Robinson. You made the play. Protect the football.
That would be the definition of the unblocked end. And turn him loose and read him.
He got there so quick, you couldn't make the decision. You're supposed to go opposite whatever he does. Didn't have a chance.
3rd and 12 for the Irish from the 16. Book throws underneath, incomplete, and the holding flag is thrown. They missed it the first time. They got it the second time. Frederick on the tackle for Syracuse. Let's see what Dino Babers wants to do. Make it 4th down or 3rd down, or take the gain and make it 4th down at the 11-yard line. It'd be 4th and 6, so that's what you'd probably do here, right?
Yeah,
decline it.
Yeah, create 4th down. Hope they kick the field goal.
Holding, number 78, offense. The penalties declined. 4th down.
And it's going to give Justin Yoon a chance again.
That right guard here. I thought he flushed out of the pocket a little early here. He could have held maybe one of the underneath crossers. Instead, he felt like he got the perimeter and bounces outside. Still, the holding penalty, still the completion. We're both short of the 1st down field goal situation.
And a chance for a little bit of Notre Dame history here as Justin Yoon goes for his 3rd field goal. It would tie Kyle Brins's record of 57 field goals made. Spot at the 20, kick called 29 yards. It is high, it is far, it is good. We got to do that at Yankee Stadium, right, for John Sterling? I've been sitting on that for 11 months. Thank you, John. 57. Justin Yoon, just inside. And the Irish lead, 23-0. Gonna have some fun, right? Notre Dame football on NBC, brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. Be a sub above. And by Microsoft Surface. Many sports, many events, the 2 stadiums over the years, and we mentioned earlier, November 9, 1946, that original college football game of the century, Army and Notre Dame playing a very famous scoreless tie in the old stadium. Johnny Lujack, the much-discussed tackle of Doc Blanchard, the stars of their era. The connection of Notre Dame football and New York City, playing Army here for the better part of 2 decades every single year, and that really heightened the national profile of Notre Dame, which the Shamrock Series that the Irish play still continues to do by taking Notre Dame football all across the country.
And as you've said, they make a trip to the West Coast at the end of every season to have a national presence in recruiting, and it's really worked out for them. I know that Brian Kelly as a coach and as a player, with all the season riding on the line, I'd really like to have a home game, but this is a phenomenal atmosphere.
Again, this is Notre Dame's home game, moved here by the Irish as part of the Shamrock Series. Another return by Riley, hit and turned down at the 21-yard line. Above the Rest is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. It's the Notre Dame defense today.
Boy, sitting on routes, reading the route recognition is so good. It's amazing. Safety Gilman over the top, seeing the ball in the air. Shut down on these receivers. Gilman again, digging out what should have been a completion and creating a great return. They have shut down a very athletic receiving corps.
Loey Gilman, 2 picks in that back end. Jalen Elliott earlier, he's now at 4 for the season. They had no playmaking back there last year, a bunch this year. And they are loading up to stop the run as Drew Tranquil and Tavon Coney limit Mo Neal. It was one of my favorite stories of the year. We heard it the very first week of the season when we were in South Bend. Clark Lee, the defensive coordinator, he's got young kids. He and his wife have 3 young kids, and he's at preschool. And as Clark described, he gave such great tapestry to the story and the anecdote. He said, it just smells like a preschool lunchroom and just that kind of setting as he's waiting. And then he gets the call, the opportunity to interview to replace Mike Elko. As Devito is sacked, Drew Tranquil is going to get it as the pressure forced it up the middle. Catherine?
Well, Mike, along those lines, I asked Clark Lee if he's had much time to reflect this season on what he's achieved, but he told me it's been fun hearing from the people that he's admired throughout his career. His former strength coach at Georgia Tech, Rick Neuheisel, he prides himself on those relationships and the ones that he has with his players. He said when he was at Vanderbilt as a player, he was a role player and has stayed committed to speaking that narrative as he tries to help this Irish team remain undefeated, Mike.
Neuheisel, one of the first head coaches, he was around, and he got his opportunity, UCLA. Of course, you talked about the strength coaches. Everyone's been a part of his life over the year. And then he'll hear from more of them as this season goes on. And his front four continues to bring the heat. The combination of Okwara and Kareem sack Devito.
Well, Okwara's coming off the left edge, but watch them drop out as well. It's a zone blitz type situation where you're bringing pressure from the edges, and then the inside guys are dropping off, and Devito is very unsure what he's seeing, and he's getting pressure right away.
Cody Conway is not alone in the tackles who have seen Okwara blow by him this season. Okwara, if he gets the full credit there, that'll be his 6th sack of the year. A Frichter's kick, fair caught by Fink right around midfield. Halfway through this third quarter, Yankee Stadium at Notre Dame, looking like number 3. Come January here on NBC, Dwayne Johnson brings you the biggest competition series ever, the Titan Games, for the YouTube to see the official trailer and be amazed. It premieres January 3rd, and our partner Liam McHugh is part of the coverage, that show, the Titan Games. Hope you enjoy it. When the calendar turns to 2019 here on NBC. Spectacular look at Lower Manhattan as evening descends here in the Bronx. Ian Book had his arm hit as he went to throw, and that pass is incomplete. Syracuse with good pressure there, brought a lot of heat, trying to force a turnover.
Whitner coming out of the linebacker level, brought 2 guys, brought a 6-man rush. Just pin your ears back and go.
Tyler Whitner brought the pressure, the push in the middle from Kenneth Ruff. Redshirt junior, plays about 20 snaps a game for the Orange up front. The reverse action with Fink. Got the edge for the moment, and a great job by Andre Cisco. Has a pick in this game. This freshman's going to be a star for this Syracuse team. Heck, he already is. 6 interceptions this year.
Here he comes on the reverse, coming back around, but it's well played. Stay home on the backside and Phil. Chip Long just keeps dialing up plays. He doesn't care what the scoreboard's reading right now. He's still trying to score points and be aggressive.
Cisco went to St. Anthony's High School, Long Island, from Valley Stream, New York. Played 2 years at IMG Academy down in Florida. We see IMG Academy players play every week. They're so well schooled in the game. 3rd and 12, Book sideline toss, nothing home and a flag. Christopher Frederick had the coverage on the boundary on Miles Boykin. Syracuse sideline is suggesting that it was uncatchable. And the officials are having none of such conversation.
Pass interference. Number 3, defense. Automatic. First down.
It's a little bit of an iffy call. There's the contact at the line of scrimmage. Staying in great relationship. The arms are around them. The ball's high. I mean, there's contact going on, but that ball's high and away. And he's not like grabbing and pulling and keeping him from going after the ball.
Nino Babers trying to get uncatchable. That was the correct call. He had his arms wrapped around him the way guys may catch it, especially Boykin. Trying to get to that second level here on the run was Williams, and he is denied up front. Chris Slayton, McKinley Williams, excuse me, was the first guy to get there.
Seems like Syracuse defensive front is picking up their intensity a little bit these last couple of drives as far as the inside part of the play. They're getting a little help with a couple of blitzes being called, but getting after it a little better.
NASCAR Championship, NFC North lead. Busy day tomorrow as that pass is incomplete. And then Matt Ryan against the smoking hot Saints on Thanksgiving night. So a lot of good stuff ahead over the next 6 days. We may just, might as well let the referee do play-by-play. His mic's open after every play. There's an interception before he's telling us it's a pick. I mean, really, enough. 3rd and 7 coming up. Book is flush, keeps it alive. He's so good at that. He fires on the run to Boykin, who fights forward. And 3 Syracuse players keep him from the first down. Let's see what Brian Kelly will do. 4th down here. Up 23.
There's Kramer right here getting beat as they're pushing through. But look at the feet. Look at the footwork. Stop, step up, move forward. And he keeps his eyes up the field.
How hard is that?
You feel the rush, but you got to keep your eyes up the field. I don't know. It's a natural thing for some guys, but a lot of guys will drop their eye level and start looking at the 4th down play.
4th and 1. They're going to throw it. Syracuse covered the tight ends. Book's second play complete to Cole Kmet for the first down. Again, Doug, just the nuanced stuff. The play was taken away. He kept it alive and made the right play to keep the drive going.
It's not there initially, drifts around, feels it, keeping the eyes up the field. Like I said, not putting him down on the rush and just turning into a runner. Sees the field, puts the ball on the money. 4th down conversion.
From the 12-yard line. To the left was Jones. Syracuse stringing that one out. It's so funny, Doug, with Ian Book. You think back, and we talked to Ian about this earlier this week. We went to the spring game, the blue gold game in 2017. He threw it really well. There was a lot of attention on Brandon Wimbush and would they find a quarterback. And Brian Kelly said, look, at least we know we've got a number 2 in Book. He opened everybody's eyes that day. And from that day forward, Ian Book knew that he could be the quarterback at Notre Dame. Jones inside run here. Keeps it alive, didn't go down. They'll gain 2 yards. 3rd down coming up.
And knowing it for yourself is an important, pivotal point in your career. When you gain that confidence, when you stepped out on the field, the first time I ever field was at Penn State, and I thought I did not belong. And all of a sudden, you complete your first 5 passes, and it's like, I can play this game. I can play at this level. And that's what happened in that spring game for Ian Book. He realized, I can do this, and I can do this well, and I belong here. And, you know, he was patient, kept learning, and when he got his opportunity, took advantage of it.
3rd and 8. Another blitz coming. Book fires in the middle, complete for the touchdown. Chase Claypool.
And this is tight coverage. Claypool coming underneath and just fighting off. Ball's right on the chest, and it has to be on the chest to make this play down by the goal line. You do not want to be extended into the safety making a hit or having a DB collision. Good throw and catch.
2nd touchdown pass of the game for Book. 4th of the season for Claypool, who has come on gangbusters here in the 2nd half of the season. Tough job getting that snap down, and that's why the kick is no good. That's the 2nd snap issue we've had of the game. And Nolan Henry couldn't get in place in time for you to knock it through. Chase Claypool has had a fabulous 2nd half of the season. Touchdown number 4 of the year puts the Irish up 29-0. From Illumination, the creators of Despicable Me and The Secret Life of Pets, comes a unique reimagining of the beloved tale, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. It's now playing. Lights settling in at 5 o'clock on this Saturday in New York. Brian Kelly in conversation with that offensive line. We're very pleased with this. This is a very tough stretch for the Irish. A lot of games on the road, a lot of travel. And most of the mission has been accomplished to this point. Short kickoff taken by Riley. And Sean Riley's out to the 33 for the Orange with 3:27 left here in the 3rd. Eric Dungey, the starting quarterback, hurt in the 1st quarter. It's been Tommy Devito since.
Have to find a way to get creative with your pass protections. Move the quarterback, not necessarily rollouts or bootlegs, but slide protections to secure gaps. Maybe max protect once in a while. Give them a chance to look up the field. You're sitting there in 4 wideouts all day. It creates gaps. You know, guys are a lot of one-on-ones going up front in pass rush.
It's a Syracuse offense that usually is effective passing the ball. You've seen the numbers go by. They've only completed 5 passes the entire game. There's 6. It's going to go nowhere. It's in Julian Love's neighborhood. Well, this certainly impacted the game. It wasn't a great start for Eric Dungey. They had a couple of drives in the third drive for the Orange after a punt and interception and a run here. It doesn't look like anything obvious there, but just a pain in his back, and he went down right away. And he is very tough. We've seen him come back multiple times during his career. Was helped to the locker room. Have not seen him since. Was described as an upper body injury. Dungey out, Devito in. And O'Neal with the carry. Not much there. As Notre Dame is just sitting on all of the runs here for the Orange with 2:40 to go in the third.
Jerry Tillery just came free in the middle, beat his man. There were actually 6 guys in the box against 5 blockers. There was just nowhere to run. Trying that stack alignment again.
3rd and 12 with the pressure on. Against the blitz, it's Riley underneath who gets beat up as Tranquil read it, reacted to it, and comes up with a big tackle to force 4th down. Jalen Elliott, the safety, was also there in coverage.
Just smothering him on defense. I mean, they brought another blitz there, Notre Dame did. Elliott's coming up and reacting quickly in one-on-one coverage.
Clark Lee's having fun right now.
He's just dialing it up. See, he looks like he's having fun, doesn't he? I don't know. The expression doesn't.
Quarterback injury or not, when a team averages 44 and they've got nothing 43 minutes into the game, you should feel good about the job your guys are doing. Huffrichter the kick on the run. It's picked by Fink at 34. And he will be stopped right around the 40-yard line. Well covered by the Orange there, and Tyrell Richards. 29-0. Fighting Irish. 2018 Shamrock Series, our aerial coverage this evening brought to you by Tourism Ireland. Well, you talk about a season. Head coach gets so much credit. Brian Kelly's been very complimentary of Brian Polian. Special teams and recruiting been a very big focus, especially in having another head coach on this staff. And Mike Elston, who has survived both coaching staffs on the defensive side to change, and that defensive line's playing so well. Great credit to all of those guys. Book thought about the downfield shot, instead comes to the far side to Alize Mack, and the pass is incomplete, Doug.
Yeah, just like Chip Long, coming out and trying to, with a dagger, trying to go to the play action, trying to go for a home run ball. Didn't happen down the field. But that's his style. He's got these plays practiced up, ready to go. He's using them. He's calling them. He's looking for the situation. Where are we in the game? I'm calling it.
Up the middle run here, Dexter Williams, and he'll be stopped at the 48-yard line. We mentioned Autry Denson before, the running back coach. You just saw Chip Long. We showed you Mike Elston, the D-line coach. Brian Polian, who was a head coach at Nevada and has done so much to help this Irish program build. Since he has returned here, was a former assistant here. As a flag. And a 4th false start.
Number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And a 3rd on Hainsey, the right tackle. And Hainsey's is going to come out. I think the 3rd time's the charm. Trevor Ruland is going to come in for the Irish.
He's saying, Coach, it's these stripes on these pants. They got me off balance. I'm wearing these pinstripes, and I just can't.
Rough game to get 3. So Ruland comes in. He'll play right guard. And Tommy Kramer, 78, who we saw start the entire season last year at right tackle, will pop out there. 3rd and 7, Book in trouble, and he is spun down by Kenneth Ruff. So the redshirt junior from Lauderhill, Florida, gets on the board with his first sack on the season. That should bring us down to the end of the 3rd.
Well, the pressure came off, a little twist. You come out and around, get the pressure on the quarterback, makes Ian Book step up through and winds up in a sack.
Just the little things here. You have another head coach, as I mentioned, in Brian Polian. Brian Polian immediately saw the clock, set it to Brian Kelly, and then told his punter out there, no snap. And no reason to run an extra play. Get to the 4th quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Through 3 at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Notre Dame 29, Syracuse nothing. Back for the 4th quarter after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. We go to the fourth quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame dominant over Syracuse, have held the Orange to 9 plays and -8 yards in this half. Newsom with the kick. And Sean Riley takes it back for the Orange to the 28-yard line. He is down there. So Notre Dame in the college football playoff rankings sitting at number 3. Alabama beat the Citadel and made it scary for a quarter and a half or so, maybe until halftime. Clemson gets Duke tonight. There are the Irish. Michigan in a battle at the Big House right now with Indiana, although it's right around the halftime. Second half now of that game, 9-7. Georgia beating UMass in that much talked about very light SEC schedule this week as they gear up for next weekend. And an Ohio State-Maryland game in overtime, 52-51. The Wolverines will play the Buckeyes in Columbus next Saturday. Another one of those key playoff games, but the big one is Notre Dame USC next week. Syracuse cannot get anything going. Nykeem Johnson, the catch, and another loss of yardage. Doug, as we have discussed a couple of times here, Notre Dame wins next week at USC. Going to be very, very difficult to see a scenario, even if Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, that would keep an undefeated team with a win over Michigan out of the college football playoff.
Yeah, there's no doubt with a head-to-head win over Michigan. If something were to happen like Georgia knocking off Alabama, potentially 2 SEC teams getting in, I can't see Michigan slipping in ahead of Notre Dame even if that scenario were to happen.
Somebody's going to get kept out of the scenario with the college football playoff, those 4 teams, if that would happen. Again, you're a couple of steps away from the ifs. Notre Dame cannot have part 1 of the process, college championship 1, conference championship. Strength of schedule has been different than we thought it would look this year. There's a pass complete and a first down as Taj Harris gets
a
out
real
of bounds.
pass complete, right? Is what you're saying. Yeah.
At the 40-yard line. You know, Doug, it's so funny. If you looked at the November schedule, and we did, we look at the Notre Dame schedule every year. You sit there and look at November and go, wow, they're going to play 2 ranked teams in November. They're going to be Florida State and USC. Run up the middle here by Mo Neal. There's no way on the planet it's going to be Northwestern and Syracuse. I mean, revenge of the journalism schools there. Northwestern and Syracuse end up the ranked teams when they play Notre Dame and not Southern California and Florida State. Never saw it coming. Devito shot downfield a little bit too far for the fellow freshman Taj Harris.
Well, there's no doubt in what you're saying, and the turnaround, what we touched on earlier, to play Syracuse, a ranked team number 12, on a neutral site game instead of a home game when everything was on the line, and then at the end of the year go to USC that normally would be ranked and have all the athletes they have. It's a scary, daunting end of the season.
3rd and 1. Orange will try to run for the first down with Neal, and they will to the 43-yard line. And again, as you said, this is a game that's technically a Notre Dame home game. The Irish chose to move to Yankee Stadium. Mostly their fans. But when you look at this, you do know it was played not in South Bend.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
And that injured player again is Drew Tranquil, who went down earlier in the game. And that ankle, it's one tweak, one step the wrong way, and a pain threshold thing where Tranquil was able to play the key 3rd down snaps against Northwestern. Made it through most of the game against Florida State last week. And he's hoping that he can make it through this one and the USC game and then get a very long break. Let's get an update on what's going on around the country. Here's Liam McHugh.
Mike, thanks. You alluded to that game at USC. Trojans taking on UCLA today. JT Daniels, Velus Jones slips a tackle, cranks up the speed, goes 45 yards. USC leads at 24-21 at the half. Mike.
Liam, that's my favorite game of the year every year. You know why? The uniforms. They both wear their school colors, the powder blue of UCLA, the cardinal of USC. Always a good scene out there. It's going to be a very interesting USC team that the Irish will play. Houston Griffith with the pressure off the edge. Devito throws it where no one can catch it. Doug, over the years, the USC Notre Dame rivalry has in large part been made about if it's not for something huge, it's us trying to ruin your hopes of where you're going to be come the holidays. And there they are again.
There've been a couple of years ago where USC was not having a good season, turned around and played the game of their life at the end of the year. It just, the athletes on the field, and you saw it from the replay of the highlight. 80 yards at any time.
Devito sets up the screen with Neal. Some nice elusiveness there around the 33-yard line. O'Neal. This is the deepest penetration for the Orange offense in this game. Syracuse trying to avoid a shutout. Last time that happened at Clemson a couple of years ago.
It's that spread stack look wide. Try to, there you go. Notre Dame shifted back into the front. Now they can't run the ball. Now they got to go back to the pass.
That's so fun. One adjustment to the next adjustment.
And now they adjust it back out.
Devito ends up with the run, and Notre Dame wins the chess match. And speaking of chess, when we were talking about Dino Babers about the offense, what he likes to do, and the speed of the offense, he said, "Do you play competitive chess?" I was like, no, not against somebody who gives up that they're good at it. And his point was that chess match with speed, sometimes if you make that move really quick, you don't know what the counter is. And that has been some of the success of the Syracuse offense since Babers got there, but none of that today. Notre Dame has had checkmate right throughout. Tavon Coney on that sack.
Well, the blitz is coming off the edge. There's your extra rusher, but makes him step up through. Again, it's a six-man rush. Coney wasn't even rushing on the play. He was just eyeing his back and steps up and ends up with a sack on the play.
They really give it to Heinisch, who made the first contact before Devito fell down.
Well, he deserves it. Because the other guy wasn't even coming. He's not even across the line of scrimmage.
It'd be great for Kurt Heinisch if he ends up getting 2 sacks on this afternoon. Defensive tackle from Pittsburgh.
So many multiple looks defensively.
And Devito again has to bench him. Syracuse's offense has been completely flummoxed in the passing game.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box and threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down.
With 11:04 left and the score 29-0.
Just every kind of pressure you could possibly bring. And a lot of the issues have come where they fake the pressure inside, bring it off the edge, and then drop out in the middle and overload. Because it's a 5-man protection a lot of the times. And you bring 2 off each edge, they cannot pick it up.
Syracuse is going to run against the play clock here. They're trying to decide if they're going to go for it or not. At the 38, they say why not, needing to get to the 24-yard line to keep the drive going. More pressure. Devito up top, shot is incomplete. Taj Harris had it, couldn't bring it in. However, there's a flag down back by Devito.
Roughing the passer, number 53, defense, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Colin Kareem had their shot at him. Taj Harris got a
no doubt
face mask
about it.
Full of grass.
Coming off their edge, unblocked, takes a couple extra steps and takes the hit anyway. Can't do it. And on the back end, Julian Love staying after the ball. After it appeared to be a reception at first, you're beat on the play, the ball's on the money, and you still rip it out for an incompletion.
And Notre Dame has been fabulous this year at challenging balls right at that reception moment. A sensational job done in the secondary. Todd Light, Terry Joseph, the coaches, the corners, and the safeties. And up the middle run for 3 for Mo Neal. You wonder what do teams do when they talk about what they work on in the spring and blah, blah, blah. That's some of the stuff. They fundamentally have drilled those types of things. Many teams do, but the way it's been taught and the way it's been learned and executed has been a big difference-making point for this Irish secondary. We welcome the Orange to the red zone for the first time today. Devito's pass is complete for a gain of 4 to Sean Riley to the 16-yard line.
For the first time, they just go zone protection, every man max it, and watch them all just slide to the right. Everybody take your gap, max protected, and the ball's out and you're not getting hit.
Tommy Devito played his high school ball for Greg Toll, who's coach now Dino Babers. Toll, his high school coach, was a Rutgers quarterback. He schooled this QB quite well. Handoff inside. Beal's got the first down. As the Orange getting right around the 10-yard line. Here's we're under 10 minutes left in this one. Loey Gilman got stepped on. Safety hobbled his way out of the pocket. Will not impact the outcome in all likelihood, but you know Notre Dame would love to keep this shutout. Neal bouncing, Gilman chasing, beautiful open field tackle by the Irish junior safety from Hawaii.
Gilman coming from depth as the free safety reacting up. He's way back here, and it's nice vision to bounce outside by Mo Neal. And he's just closing downhill in a hurry. Makes a great open field tackle.
Syracuse often likes to try Jamal Custis, the receiver, down here. They can keep running the ball. 5-yard line to set up third down. The Orange, as I mentioned, will play Boston College next Saturday at a noon Eastern start. Chestnut Hill. That game.
It's been a fun year for you and me.
We should have a little bit of a wager. I think the next meal is on the winner.
You got that. Our teams are actually playing pretty good football this year. I know Notre Dame's taking it to Syracuse.
Syracuse is not my team today, Doug. I'm fully neutral. 3rd and 4. Here is Strickland on the fake. Over the top for the tight end, Pierce. And Ravion Pierce couldn't bring it in. Pass incomplete. 4th and 4. One of the Irish players slowed to get up. It's Jerry Tillery, I believe.
I will
beg your pardon. It's not Tillery. It's Adi Okindiji, 91, not 99.
I will rephrase to our school.
No problem.
Officials timeout for an injured
Athletic
player.
training staff out to check him out. So let's step out for a moment. Be right back. Notre Dame football is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM. By Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com. And by Verizon, the unlimited plan you need on the network you deserve. In the interest of avoiding a shutout, Syracuse will try a field goal with Andre Schmidt, who's been phenomenal this year. 27 of 29. Off the upright and no good. The story of the day. And the Irish keep the shutout going. First miss from inside 40 by the freshman Schmidt. It is a Notre Dame day, and the Irish have played that way. Didn't get the laces turned on the hold. Schmidt, the rare miss. And the Irish remain up 29-0. Well, this is the 9th edition of the Shamrock Series that started with a trip to San Antonio in 2009. So the Irish on the road again for home games away from South Bend. They have lost none of these games. And it goes back to a topic we discussed in the first half. Notre Dame has long tried to remain as an independent in this era of mega conferences. Its national profile. There was no game in 2017, as you see Jack Swarbrick, the athletic director at Notre Dame, on the field for a presentation earlier on. They have continued to try to keep the Notre Dame brand national as regionalization of college football has come around. Dexter Williams takes the handoff from Brandon Wimbush, the quarterback, and gains 12 yards there. Wimbush, who got the start last week against Florida State, played a couple of snaps as a running back, and now he's in there to close this one out as Ian Book's night is done.
You know, when Ian Book took over for Brandon Wimbush, he became the perfect teammate. He really did, and did everything right, said the right things, prepared, wanted to be involved. And for him to have the opportunity to start the game last week in a significant game really meant a lot to him and the team.
So the numbers from Book a little bit lower on the completion percentage, but a very strong effort here today. Ryan Guthrie with another tackle of Williams. Well, as you said before, for the coaches, the Shamrock Series, it's part of what they have to do with the brand of Notre Dame and extending it nationally. It's not the easiest thing for a coach to have to go on the road for a home game late in the season.
I mean, you look for every edge possible when you're getting ready for a game. You watch all the film you watch, you prepare, you find a weakness of a defense, whatever it might be. And then you worry about your kids being ready to play. And then you voluntarily give up a home game and move on the road and you deal with the things that come along with the travel and everything else. So, you know, you're just looking for, you just want to win.
It is something that is essential in this era of mega conferences if Notre Dame wants to keep uniqueness and independence in not being in a league. Wimbush was down at the 41-yard line, yard shy of the first down. As Brian said to us when we were discussing it this week, that happens a level above me, the decisions on these things. But Notre Dame will not play a Shamrock Series game next year. All the scheduled home games planned for Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, or Notre Dame, Indiana, to be more precise. Wimbush will keep it here, and he'll get the first down at the 45-yard line. Very familiar coach on the opposing sideline. If all things stay the same next year, Bob Davie brings New Mexico in. Virginia team with Bronco Mendenhall that battled in the conference. USC on the annual end of the trip will come in. We'll see where Virginia Tech is. The every year battle with Navy, and BC to close the schedule next year in South Bend. We'll make 2 points here. One, if you've never been, plan. If you're a college football fan and have the means to do so, it's nothing like a game weekend in South Bend. And secondly, the Irish have a great chance to keep their undefeated streak at home going. Close winning 11 straight at home to end this year. Wimbush trying to get somebody set up to throw it. Instead, he will run it down the sideline, and Wimbush knocked out of bounds. That was set up to try to throw it. You weren't looking, so I'm taking off all the way to the 22-yard line.
This is what he brings to the game. I mean, he brings it out here on the read. He decides to pull it. All right, I don't have anywhere to run. Let's flip it out here to the wide receiver. He's not looking, make a block, and turns it into a big play. And he's probably mad at himself he didn't stay in bounds and go all the way.
Full admiration for the way Brandon Wimbush has handled the situation. 13-3. One of the reasons it was such a tough move to go to Ian Book was the popularity within the team of Wimbush. And his approach and attitude to it has kept it from being a fissure within this team this year. Flagged down as Dexter Williams, will be stopped a few yards behind the line of scrimmage. But Brandon Wimbush has handled this in a first-class way.
Holding, number 78, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Tommy Kramer, as the offensive lineman, remade here a little bit. Reworked a couple of players for this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Wimbush has continually worked. He put himself in a position to be I'm the backup. I'm going to be ready. I'll be ready to go at the, any given moment. If not, hey, coach, is there some other way I can help the team? Can I get in there? So he kept a great attitude throughout. Ended up getting the opportunity to start last week, still being a big part of the team, and who knows what happens week to week.
4:20 left in this fourth quarter. No offside flag there, and that pass is incomplete. Alton Robinson got a quick jump there for the Orange.
Quick jump start around the edge. Didn't have a chance. Hainsey didn't have a chance. It's the arm hit, the ball deflected. Yeah, there's one bright spot. He's coming quick. I think he got a little jump start. He still could be onside. I mean, he left before the snap of the ball, but that doesn't necessarily mean he was offside.
Both Robinson and Coleman, the two defensive ends, both juniors on this Syracuse team. There's a young secondary. A lot of those pieces will be returning. Wimbush takes a timeout here at the play clock running down. Timeout. Gives us an opportunity to step out for a moment. 4:15 to go in the fourth. The 2018 Shamrock Series aerial coverage is brought to you by Tourism Ireland. In 2020, Dublin will host the Notre Dame Navy matchup. Find out more at Ireland.com. Speaking of Ireland, how about the Leprechaun here in Yankee Stadium? Says see ya to the snowball.
Take it deep, and where's the bat toss? Just the little flip on the way out.
First team all Leprechaun move there. Huh? That was pretty impressive, huh?
He got stuck in AAA for a few years before finally getting called up.
Had to do the says see ya. That's Michael Kay, the Yankee TV voice's signature call. Took care of John Sterling once. Got to take care of TV announcer as well. Michael, a good friend for many years. Williams on the move. Smelling end zone. Gonna get there. Touchdown Notre Dame. Dexter Williams. 2 on the day.
Check out your right guard, Tommy Kramer, pulling left, looking for work, turns back inside, seals it off. A great acceleration by Dexter Williams. He looked up to the replay board on his way.
No replay board at the other end. There's one out here in center field. Justin Yoon adds that extra point. One was missed earlier. Another productive point day for Yoon. Another touchdown for Dexter Williams. In total, 12. That was his first receiving touchdown of the season earlier. This rushing touchdown, number 11. Makes it 36-0. ND. After Thanksgiving Night Football, hope you join us the day after as Henrik Lundqvist and the Rangers will face off against the division rival Flyers. The Discover NHL Thanksgiving Showdown comes your way 1 Eastern, only on NBC. And we're not done. Well, we're done for the year, but not for the season, if you will, with our NBC broadcast in South Bend. It's New Year's Day. We'll have the Winter Classic with the Bruins and the Blackhawks. We look forward to that. Kickoff return for the Orange. Shine Cullen taking it out for Syracuse. What about the defense today for the Irish, Doug?
It's been pressure up front. D-line's having a heck of a day. 4-man rush doesn't matter. Heinisch gets his first sack. We believe he ended up with the second sack. Sometimes it's a 5-man, 4-man, 5-man. It doesn't matter. Inside is Drew Tranquil. You're pulling people out. You're bringing people off the edge. You get a twist. So many good blitzes dialed up. That's a zone blitz for edge pressure and guys in the middle dropping out. It just didn't matter. They were bringing it from every direction. Everyone got involved, whether it was linebackers, D linemen, or secondary.
Yeah, most of the starters done for the day. Tavon Coney, 12 tackles on this one. Julian Love, another lockdown day on his corner spot. First down for Devito. It doesn't matter who's in there. They're coming in and they're coming after him with the pressure. And the sack, Dalen Hayes, who comes off his best game last week against Florida State.
Pressure comes through the middle, but then it's Hayes coming from the opposite side who gets the sack. It's just, they cannot handle him up front.
That is 6 sacks on the day for this Notre Dame defense. Inside run for Jarvian Howard, freshman for Syracuse, running back from Mississippi. Very good in short yardage for the Orange this season has gone on. Dino Babers said at the beginning of the week, and I think he was playing a little coy, trying to take some of the pressure off of his team on this big stage for the first time as a ranked team. He said, hey, this one's house money. We get to the ACC, and it's a big game against Boston College, and from a bowl perspective, it certainly is. But a lesson learned for his team as they play one of what appeared to be the elite teams in college football and know where the standard is set and what they have to work to get to. Still been a great season for the Orange. They lost their starting quarterback in this one. Devito finds a man breaking free, and Harris stays in bounds. He'll get the catch at the 35-yard line.
Boy, as Devito rolled to the right and scrambled out, the secondary just stopped flat-footed. He's up top. And this is when he does a double move, and they lose track of him because of the quarterback movement. Just kept it in bounds enough.
Smoking back out to Taj Harris again. Spun out the 28-yard line. Paul Moala, who was injured on a kickoff in the first half, comes in and makes the play here. Harris will fill out. He'll get stronger. Looks like he's got the potential to be a good receiver. True freshman who's a heck of a basketball player, too. Back in his high school days. He and Devito have connected often here.
Just a phenomenal athlete. You know, you talk about a basketball player that's out there, and that's what this game's become. A lot of basketball on grass, short routes, catch the ball in space, making people miss. And they're young.
Yeah, Harris was also a quarterback during his high school days, and then moved to receiver for a bit. Final 2 minutes, Syracuse trying to avoid the shutout. Notre Dame trying to maintain the shutout. Devito pops it out to Riley to the 16-yard line. The minute 30 to go.
Riley can't be more than 150 pounds. And he lays it up in there.
He is listed at 5'8", 170.
I said hi to him before the game.
He's not? He's neither?
That's all right. The smaller, the better. Makes it a better story.
Dalen Hayes was shaken up to try to run off the field. He couldn't. Catherine's down there. You found a familiar face to Irish fans town.
I did indeed. Former Irish All-American Mike McGlinchey, currently with the 49ers, a first-round draft pick this past year. Mike, what do you make of this team right now and what they've been able to achieve so far this season?
You know, it's just been awesome to watch from afar. These guys prepared so hard in the offseason, and they're just the best group of guys led by a great group of coaches, and just so pumped for all my friends that are still here at ND, you know, crushing it, and being 10-0 this late in the season, so impressive.
There was so much attention coming into the season on the left side of the line. How were they going to replace you and Quentin Nelson? What do you think about the performance they've had so far?
I think they've been doing great. You know, I think they've had a lot of great games on the ground, moving people out of the way and keeping Ian upright. They've Liam Eichenberg and Aaron Banks have stepped in there and done an awesome job, and so proud of them because I know how hard they worked for the three years that they were there when I was at school, and you know, just two great guys that are playing their asses off.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. You'll be happy to know they keep the pizza tradition going on Thursday nights too, Mike.
That was an offensive line tradition. Thank you, Catherine Howard, with the carry there for Syracuse. McGlinchey, the 9th overall pick, Quentin Nelson, the 6th pick for the Colts, both starting and playing well. Final minute 5 of this one, as Devito has first and goal, and the Orange looking over to the sideline, see if they can find a play to get in for the touchdown. Devito take a few end zone shots here. That one's a Doug Flutie ball.
Absolutely, that's a point.
So Flutie, who is the biggest kid on the planet, he'll pick up a football and they'll start throwing wherever we are, usually in South Bend, and then invariably will try to hit the goalpost. You must have won more money off of more of the quarterbacks that you were with hitting the goalpost better than anyone.
We had some nice competition. Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, myself. It's fun.
Second down, Howard runs inside, 42 seconds left. We were driving over, Amir was driving back last night. We talked about you, Rivers, and Brees were all in the same quarterback room in San Diego early in Phillip's career. And the three of you have something like 103 miles of total yards in your careers. It's just nuts. See if the Orange can get in. 2 plays to do it, or the Irish get the shutout. Devito, back shoulder, no. Incomplete. Cameron Jordan, redshirt freshman from Long Island, the intended receiver. That Notre Dame home crowd here.
Going for the field goal to get the goose egg off. Now,
that is why they are booing. Clark Lee, the defensive coordinator. I did my job. They didn't score. Very rare in a 36-0 game to hear the fans getting on the kicker. Andre Schmidt will try to hit it to avoid the shutout. And he just made it on top of all that. 36-3. You know, Doug, maybe they were doing it so the kicker had confidence when he went out for his next kick, so he didn't end on a miss.
There you go.
Probably not.
No. Well, they wanted points. They wanted points.
Speaking of upset fans, this is the 50th anniversary of upset fans around the country. 50 years ago today was the infamous Heidi game. Coverage of the Jets and Raiders was preempted. East Coast viewers missed the Raiders' final 2 touchdowns that gave them a 43-32 win. You know, the game went long, and at that time, you left at 7 o'clock. Who would have thought they would have come back? I bet you there are viewers in Syracuse who would have wished we would have left the game a few hours ago for them. But that's one of the infamous games 50 years ago today. And the game was on NBC. The network survived that moment.
I was, 6 years old, and I remember that happening because everybody was so upset about it. So I've watched football religiously ever since I was tiny. So I remember that, and I remember the 1958 championship game that was played here because my parents were Baltimore Colts fans and brought me up as a Colts fan. Unitas gives to Amici. Amici scores. Colts are the world champion.
That's right. The Giants-Colts 58 game one of the first games on TV that really captured the imagination of America and has been seen by many as a seminal moment in the National Football League and the popularity of football. And that's part of the tradition we celebrate and embrace here at Yankee Stadium. Old or new, just under 200 games played here all time, and some memorable ones, including that one.
I'm not saying I was there.
No, thanks.
I was told about that game and watched highlights of that game.
So there it is, 4 quarters against the Trojans in the Coliseum in Los Angeles on Saturday night next week. And the Irish will be in the college football playoff in all likelihood. Of course, nothing's definitive, and we'll see what plays out. But what a season it has been for Notre Dame to get to 11-0 with an impressive performance against the number 12 team in the country, Syracuse, 36-3. The Irish come to New York and get the job done against the Orange with a dominating performance for Brian Kelly's team. Nice back and forth from both, and I'm sure Brian Kelly's asking about Eric Dungey, the Syracuse quarterback, hurt in that first quarter. And we'll see if Syracuse gets him back from BC next week. But Ian Book's return was just fine. 293 and 2 touchdowns as we go down one last time this year to Catherine.
Coach, your defense with a near shutout performance against a top 10 offense and number 12 ranked Syracuse. What did you learn about your team in this win today?
They wanted to play well today. They prepared very well all week. I thought our defensive game plan was outstanding. They were really difficult to defend, and they did a great job up until a field goal at the very end with our young guys out there. Really proud of our defense. We weren't perfect today on offense, but still got 36 points on the board, and got a lot of things to clean up as we get ready for USC.
What do you need to do in that USC game to keep this season perfect?
Well, we've got to be cleaner. We weren't very good in the red zone. Had to kick field goals instead of touchdowns. Too many false start penalties. So offensively, we can clean those things up. Defensively, keep playing. We're playing really, really well. I mean, our last 3-4 games defensively have been as good as we've played all year. So we've got great momentum defensively. Offensively, we're scoring a lot of points. We just got to clean it up. Playing really good football.
Well, I know you're a Red Sox fan, but how did you like your Yankees experience here in the Shamrock Series?
The field was great. The environment was electric. Great to be part of this Shamrock Series again, and the Yankees were great hosts, and our guys played very well, so it was good.
Coach, thanks so much. Best luck next week.
Thanks, Catherine.
Mike?
Catherine, thank you. This Notre Dame defense has gotten the job done. 73 points allowed over the last 5 games. And at Yankee Stadium, the alma mater for the 11-0 Notre Dame Fighting Irish of 2018. Coach Kelly joins the team. They wait for their leader, who's leaving the field as a winning head coach for the 251st time in his 28 years as a head coach. Don't know where it's going to end. Don't know how it's going to end. But a very special season for the Irish, answering every question throughout. All right, I lied one more time with Catherine down there with Ian Book.
Well, it's for a good reason, Mike. I'm here with Ian Book. Ian, congratulations. You had to sit out last week with a rib injury. How long did it take you to feel comfortable in this game tonight?
After practice all week and just being back with the guys, I felt comfortable, and I'm just happy for this team. We're in such a great situation, and it's like once you start going, and after the first play, I felt good, and I trust these guys, and we prepared so well this week that I had no reason to be worried about my injury last week.
You're wearing the pinstripes. You're playing in Yankee Stadium. What will you take away from this experience today?
This is incredible. I'll remember this night forever. Obviously, just with so much history that goes on in this ballpark, and to be able to play here, and I think our whole entire team is going to remember this night forever.
Well, Ian, best of luck next week against USC. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Mike?
All right, Tap, great season. Great being with you again. Thank you. So here's the deal in the college football playoff rankings to the moment. Bama handled the Citadel. Notre Dame very impressive over number 12 Syracuse. Michigan trailing in the Big House against Indiana in advance of that Ohio State game next week in Columbus. And then you see West Virginia and Oklahoma State with another defense optional game in the Big 12. All right, Mr. Flutie, we've been talking about this since September. What do you think? What did you see today?
I think I was really impressed with the D-line again. I mean, Syracuse's offense is dangerous. They have skill position guys. I know Dungy got hurt. That's the wrench in the system there, but still the D-line got after it. The different blitzes that were getting dialed up, they were getting home all day long. And offensively, they've been solid as a rock. I mean, once Ian Book took over at quarterback, the efficiency of the offense, plus Dexter Williams in the backfield, they're explosive on offense, and they'll score points on anyone.
Over there with Mike McGlinchey, you see the offensive lineman who was around when Ian was there. Doug, 20 of 22 Brian Kelly's won since bringing in new coordinators. We won't see the end of this run as we come to the end of our season, but you have to be impressed with where this Notre Dame program has pivoted to the last 2 years.
No doubt about it. It was an uptick right away when he made the changes. It was a change in attitude last year, and this year it's carried over, and the consistency and the emphasis through November for them, it's been there. So, the sky's the limit.
Get to hang with the Heisman Trophy winner for Notre Dame weekend. It's been a blast, pal. Thanks. Enjoyed it, Dougie.
So much fun, man.
And our producer, Rob Highland, our director, Pierre Musa, our entire NBC team. Tremendous job. Once again, our Notre Dame coverage all year. Brian Kelly's full press conference is there for you on NBCSports.com. Good one tomorrow night. The NFC North battle on the line at Soldier Field. The Vikings and the Bears will see you for football night at 7 Eastern. The news is next for many of you around the country. Saturday Night Live tonight, Steve Carell with a musical guest, LMA. Thanks to our entire team, for Liam McHugh, Chris Sims, Terry McCauley, Catherine Tappan, and the Heisman Trophy winner, Doug Flutie. Mike Tirico, thank you for watching Notre Dame football on NBC.